Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for another match of the Gallagher Premiership. It is going to be the Leicester Tigers taking on the Exeter Chiefs for the second match of round two, round one, I should say. You can kind of call it the second match though, because of the fact we are going to have multiple matches taking place at the same time. This match, also Northampton taking on, it will be Gloucester and then Worcester taking on the London Irish. We are going to be keeping you informed of all of the live matches that are taking place for this Gallagher Premiership. All at the same time, we have got there Xavier Brown has said, hi, still buzzing about the Wallabies game, and what a win it was for the Wallabies up against the Springboks. And that now means that the Springboks they're all but out of the Rugby Championship. They can still win this next game up against the All Blacks with a bonus point, and the game after that with a bonus point, but they would have to beat the All Blacks by 90 points in those two combined. So it is almost guaranteed for the All Blacks in this one. We have what's got Steve Smith has said, my boy Hoggy is going to be tearing it up against Leicester Tigers go on the Hogster as well. And I've just had a realization. I just realized I let Isaac make the thumbnail of this live stream, and Stuart Hogg, unfortunately, is not in the starting lineup for the Exeter Chiefs. I have just seen that it is actually Josh Hodge who will be starting at 15. So if you are talking about Hodgie instead of Hoggy, maybe that will be all right. But I did let Isaac make the thumbnail of this one. So Stuart Hogg is not here for this match, but he will be back very soon, luckily. So you will get to see him very soon. Hi again, guys, as well, says Shane, and also up the Wallabies, says Luke. Good morning. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. Can't wait. Let's go as well. I have got the cat with me as well, the Billy emoji. Well and truly could be used here for Steve Smith if he decides to. Tell you what, he's all soppy tonight. I think he wants to go to bed, but I am up and about and we are ready to go for another match of the Gallagher Premiership. Looking through the starting lineups and reserves for these two sides. Straight away, we look at Leicester, and they have got some very good players there. And I want to say in this game between Leicester and the Exeter Chiefs, it's going to be a battle of the 9 and the 10. For Leicester, they have decided to go with Ben Young. You're going to fall over backwards if you're not careful, mate. And also George Ford in the number 10 jersey. You've got Namani Nadolo, though, as a very talented player out on one wing. Harry Potter has returned from Hogwarts. He is going to be out on the other for this match for Leicester. And also Alex Skenge going to be the man who will be in charge of this side as the captain for the Leicester lineup. Then we look at the Exeter Chiefs. They have got some good players there as well. Like I mentioned, the battle of the 9 and the 10s. It's going to be Jack Maunder, and also it will be Joe Simmons starting in that number 10 jersey. Also honourable mentions there. Henry Slade in the midfield, very talented player. Jack Noel out on the wing. And we will say Josh Hodge in the fullback jersey as a reference as well. My cat, I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. He's probably wondering what I am still doing up. He's worked out by now, surely, that I end up talking through the whole night on a Saturday and a Sunday. You're gonna make yourself dizzy, mate, if you keep up in your head straight up in the air. But we will look through the benches for this match as well. Few good players for both of these sides, and I'm excited to see what they can do. Now, Ryan McCauley, I believe, if I'm not wrong, he is actually the player from the Western Force. Could be wrong in that regard, though, but I believe that is exactly how it is. And also there's going to be Tom Cowan-Dickey who will be coming off the bench for Leicester. I will admit I don't know these guys as well as I possibly should for this one. We have got no worries as well, as says Steve. And also the Billy emoji from Sebastian there. Any Kiwis, says Shane. Myself, I'm not sure whether or not we've got any other Kiwis around. We've got a few Australians, which is pretty awesome to see for this live stream as well. Are there any Fiji and Tongan Samoa players in the Premiership, says Xavier Brown. Perfect example of a Fijian international. Namani Nadolo is out on the wing in that number 11 jersey. Semi Radradra going to be returning to the Bristol Bears relatively soon as well. And I'm watching the Northampton game, says Luke. So at this stage, I will put up down the bottom. We are going to be keeping you guys informed of every single competition that is taking place at the moment for the Gallagher Premiership, or every single match, I should say. And we will be giving you regular updates down the bottom of the screen as well if it decides to behave, which hopefully it will. For this one, I'm double pressing my button and it's like, yeah, nah. So we will go over and we will get it ready to go for this matchup. It's going to be an exciting one. Leicester versus Exeter. I realise I don't actually need to do that because of the fact that I am going to have it going anyway. But we have got the other live matches, Northampton versus Gloucester, and also Worcester taking on the London Irish. We have got the Billy emoji from Steve Smith as well. Stuart Hogg missing. They take huge advantage to Leicester. Should be a bang as well, says Sebastian. And yeah, if you guys do enjoy that thumbnail, it is the one that I did allow Isaac to make as well. Stop trying to fall over, mate. You will be all right. He is wondering why I'm talking about we are only around a minute or so away from this game taking place, and I will be keeping you guys updated on all the matches that will be taking place for the Gallagher Premiership. They are showing Namani Nadolo. Now, that man is a Fijian international and a half, and I say that because he is a very solid individual, and hopefully he does have a very good game. We get to see a little bit of that Fijian flair out on the wing. I'm on my other account, by the way, as well, says Luke. And that will be, and we've got Katie Dixon as well. So everyone is in at this stage for in the middle of the night here in New Zealand. We're sitting at 2 a.m., which is actually an early start for ourselves. I believe in Albuquerque, it is an 8 a.m. start. In Australia, you'll be sitting around about 12, I believe, about midnight there. And then Steve Smith in Western Australia, you will be sitting at 10. I'm almost learning all the time zones. Sebastian, my brother. Romania, Romania is still the one that really is a struggle for myself. But I'm going to say in Romania at the moment, you are sitting at, I'm just going to have to have a random guess. You're sitting at 7 a.m. No, you're actually afternoon. I think you're afternoon. You are sitting at 1 p.m. somewhere around there, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Let's see if I've got it right. We have got Yip ADM here, still drinking coffee as well. And who are you looking forward to watching in this game? I would say I'll go 9 and 10 combos. I want to see George Ford and Ben Youngs working together well for Leicester, and then I want to see Jack Maunda and Joe Simmons working together for Exeter Chiefs. But also Henry Slade's another good player to watch, and Namani Dodolo, like I mentioned. Harry Potter out on the other wing. Didn't actually realise there was a Harry Potter in the Premiership, so perhaps he can bring a bit of magical flair. See what I did there? He is going to be one of those players to look out for out on the wing. It's on the dot midnight as well, says Luke. So it is actually not a terrible one. 5 p.m., 9 hours behind New Zealand. I'm going to get it one day, Sebastian. I promise I will be able to get it right. So 9 hours behind us. So it is currently 5 p.m. So the game will finish at 7 p.m. Tell you what, you've got it good in Romania in terms of the time zones. You always say that you've got the perfect time in terms of a morning start for the games in New Zealand, and also you've got that kind of nighttime start or early afternoon start for the Premiership games. Doesn't get much better than that in Bourbon for me as well, says Shane. Is it currently at 2 a.m. there for you, Shane, as well, here in New Zealand? Do you watch much top 14? I try my best to follow as much of the competition as I can for that game or that competition as well. We did one live stream so far on that, but we are hoping to do a lot more in the future as well. But at this stage now, it's going to be kicked off, and it will be Exeter Chiefs kicking this one off it will be Leicester kicking it off to the Exeter Chiefs, and Stillwish Hogg will come back to Glasgow as well, says Steve Smith. And tell you what, he is a good player, Stuart Hogg. He didn't really get as many opportunities on the British and Irish Lions tour as I kind of expected, due to the fact that they had Liam Williams there as well. But Stuart Hogg, you know, he's going to put in a shift anytime he gets a chance. And now Maunda rolling this ball back for the Exeter Chiefs, going to be just outside of the 22, and we'll be looking for touch. Going to be high. Who's going to be able to line it up? O'Flaherty trying to line it up, taken out in the air there. I believe will be the call. No, it's not. And they are going to continue going. It's the Leicester Tigers. Alice Genge there looking for the offload. Does find it now. Little kick in behind. Almost working out for Ben Youngs, but he is going to be dragged down inside of the half of the Exeter Chiefs. They have got the ball back. No, he's dropped it, and it's a little knock on against Exeter Chiefs. So now it will be the line out throw the scrum feed for the Leicester Tigers. We have got the Aren't You Doing top 14 stream tonight as well, says Luke. I did want to, although I realised then that it was going to be linking at the same time. It was Montpellier versus, I believe it was Toulouse or someone along those lines. And unfortunately, those two games, it's 3 a.m. start for that one and 2 a.m. start for this one. So I wasn't quite able to get into that situation of being able to do both. We have got Thick Boy in the chat. As said, training done, KFC ordered, and a bottle of Bud in hand. Happy Saturday, people, as well, says Thick Boy. And welcome into the live stream, mate. Must be currently sitting there at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, maybe 3 p.m. It's actually 3 p.m. 3 p.m. locking in that answer as well for that one. We have got there. Good morning, good coffee as well from Sebastian, and also yes, 2 a.m. says Shade. So we are well and truly committed to the cause for this late night live stream. We have also got there. Peacock has shown the Tigers Chiefs game, the Warriors London Irish game, and also Saints Gloucester game, the Sharks Bath game, but not the Exeter Leicester game as well. So that is interesting that they have decided. Wait a minute, Tigers versus Chiefs is that game. That will be your Exeter Leicester game, because it is the Leicester Tigers taking on the Exeter Chiefs. So that will be what that one is. But George Ford straight away going to be taking on this kick. And it did become the penalty for taking the player out in the air in the end. And you nailed it as well, says Thick Boy. And also we have got there. I still cringe when I look back at Hogg's last game for the Warriors, getting KO'd by Leinster, one of the biggest shames in the world as well, says Sebastian. George Ford has got that one over. So now the score is going to be 3-0 to the Exeter Chiefs early on in this game, up against Exeter. So they are at home for this one, Leicester, and they will be very happy with being able to convert into early points on the board there. And we have got there. I'm on the strongest stuff there is on the rugby. G'day, mate. How are you? Once again, and also we have got there in the chat, Katie. That'll do it. Pretty much, or too much adrenaline, methinks as well, says Steve Smith. And also we've got, I'm hoping Sam Simmons puts on a masterclass as well from Luke. That's going to be taken very nicely by Leicester. And it is just outside of their 22. McCaddis tidy is wondering why I'm still talking. He keeps on trying to look over at my head, which is going to end up with him falling over backwards, maybe. Look forward, mate. Lose rugby on in front of us rather than up in the sky. But now it's going to be in the hands of the youngster Josh Hodge in the number 15 jersey for the Exeter Chiefs. Only 40 metres out now from their own line. Going to be driving forward, but getting driven backwards there, and a good tackle on it would have been Don Armand, and it's a penalty to the Exeter Chiefs. Is this last game tonight, says Shane? I believe it will be on the channel because of the fact that I wanted to do the game at 7:45 a.m. But if I do that game, I don't think I'll be able to get up for the Bunnings NPC game tomorrow. So I am going to be in that situation of I will do these matches or this match alongside the other matches that we can cover on the channel kind of at the same time. And then from there, I will be going into the Bunnings NPC live stream tomorrow. And then we will be in that situation of getting to do a couple more Gallagher Premiership and Top 14 tomorrow night as well. We have what's got there in the chat. See, I'm new to this. I look for the city names. Nubia Lead as well, says Katie Dixon. No worries at all. Billy looks like he is going to be on his way here. See you later. He didn't last very long for this one. We have what's got there. Billy emojis from Sebastian and also Billy as well from Katie Dixon. Haven't seen Billy in ages. Hi, Billy as well. And that is a good point. We haven't really seen Billy too often on the live streams in recent time. Normally, I'll tell you what it is. Exeter Chiefs playing. He loves himself some Chiefs because he does normally follow the Chiefs in Super Rugby. So instead now he is in that situation of going for them. Maybe the Exeter Chiefs in this one, but they are behind. The ball is rolling free and it's going to be available now for Leicester inside of their own 22. Looks like they are just going to be waiting for Ben Youngs to get there to be able to kick this ball up high or pass it back maybe to Simmons. Will be sitting in the pocket and it's straight down the middle of the field. That is a boot and a half, but it's going to be 40 metres out now. And it will be Hodge who's got the opportunity. For the 50-22, it's just gone straight out on the full. And they will now be going right back to the halfway line for this line out. You stream in the Bath game as well, says Xavier. I wish that I could for that game between Bath and Sale, but unfortunately here in New Zealand, they aren't showing it. I wanted to watch that game. But yeah, they aren't actually showing it here in New Zealand. They only seem to be doing 3 games a week, and that is not one of them. They have got this week, Harlequins versus Newcastle is the next one that they will allow for us to watch here. And we have what's got there in there. I'll tune in for the NPC game, says Shane, and it is going to be a good one. The Ranfurly Shield is going to be on the line between Hawke's Bay and also it will be Bay of Plenty. Decent team there. George Ford, First Blood as well, says Sebastian, and also go get some sleep. And you don't have to stream every game for us as well, says Luke. Although I do love watching me a little bit of the Gallagher Premiership. Top 14 is a harder one because they normally have a game on at 7:45, which is kind of a little bit early morning, depending on when the NPC game is. It looks like already there is going to be a little bit of blood on the field for Leicester here, which is not what they were on early on. We have what's got there. Stan shows all the games. Can't you just buy Stan Sport as well, says Xavier? Because I am in New Zealand, I think I would have to try and do it through a VPN, and then it is a little bit iffy with my Wi-Fi connection whether or not it would go through. But I guess if I had to for some of these games as well, I could try and get Stan Sport and have to. It would be interesting though, because I would have to pay for a Sky Sport kind of subscription and also a Stan Sport subscription at the same time as well. We have got good to see you, pal, as well. Tough one to call this. Leicester at home and Exeter missing a few key players as well. I'm thinking it could be Leicester win 24-10 as a prediction as well there. And Sebastian, yeah, but with Hogg and Russell still, Glasgow were real title contenders last season, was dreadful as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got Go Bay of Plenty from Shane. So he is hoping they will be able to get that Ranfurly shit. And what I am going to do is I am quickly going to update one of the scores that are going across the bottom of the screen, because I see that Northampton are now leading that match up against Gloucester 3-0. So they have been able to tick it over to the 3-0 at the moment. I'll try and keep you guys informed of those other matches that are happening at the same time. There may be a little bit of a delay compared to when they score them, compared to when I put them through. But anytime there is a try in these 3 games all on at the same time, I will definitely be covering it. And London Irish have just scored. So as I was mentioning that, they have been able to get themselves one. Now, London Irish, we will add this one. It is good that we have got a stoppage here just while we are waiting for Nick Dolly to put the ball in for the line out. And it's almost, yes, it is stolen by the Exeter Chiefs. They're very nicely done. And they have been able to retain that ball now. It's going to be Maunder passing it back across to the big forwards. I believe that was Williams. And the number 3 jersey, I think he's had a haircut, if I'm not wrong there. Going to be driving forward once again here. Exeter Chiefs up to the halfway line, seeing what they can do with the early bit of ball that they are receiving here. They need to make sure that they don't give Leicester too much possession, because at home, you can really run away with the game. Now it's out into the wing, and it will be stepping back on the inside. He ended up almost getting tackled by his own player there, which it was Jack Innard. And it's a penalty to Leicester there. Thanks, Sebastian. We need it as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got there, if you get Stan Sport, you can also get everything that comes with Stan, like the TV shows and movies as well, says Luke. And also I definitely look forward to watching the Warriors this season, wishing them the best of luck. And unfamiliar with these teams, but dang, those Leicester jerseys are lovely as well, says Katie Dixon. And yeah, they are indeed. I only know about 5 players or so for both of these sides, but hopefully it will be similar to that game that we did a little bit earlier on, how we slowly learned them together. But now Alice Genge, the captain of Leicester, getting driven backwards. Now it's going to be in the hands of Harry Potter, getting his first carry of the match. That's a slightly, I guess, is that a conveniently good name or a conveniently bad name to have the name Harry Potter? Definitely from England, but now it's going to be hit back onto the side of Leicester. A little bit of a high tackle from Slade in the end on Youngs, but they have still got the ball available for Leicester. It's going to be Genge once again getting the carry. And Leicester, they actually made it to the final of the Challenge Cup last year. So what it is in the situation of is 8 to 12, I believe the rankings is that you get into the Challenge Cup rather than the Champions Cup. For the rugby, we have what's got there. What did you think of Barrett's pass in the first game against Argentina? I assume we are talking about that flick out pass out the back from Bowden Barrett to Luke Jacobson, and it was extremely impressive indeed from that man. And he was in a little bit of form in that game, although he didn't get too much of an opportunity in the second game. Finley Christie, unfortunately for us, we've been asking for him for a little while, and he didn't have the best game, sadly. And we have what's got there in the chat, Al, that was supposed to be the Scottish flag as well, said Sebastian. And also we have got there, thanks Sebastian, we need it. And also Harlequins have the best jerseys and conveniently bad as well, says Katie Dixon. And it's a legendary name. And Quinn's jersey are very lovely indeed. They have got a very nice pattern on them, beautifully taken in the air there by Freddie Stewart. And now at this stage on the halfway line for Leicester, I'll see who scored that try in the game. It was Hassel Collins, who scored the try for London Irish just a little bit earlier on in their match. But we are currently 8 minutes through this. It is flying by at the moment. My brain is in fast forward mode. Having such a name in England is suicidal. Endless opportunities of the opposing fans to slag you off with personalised chants as well, says Sebastian. I mean, even in the lineups at the start of this one, I did say he was fresh off the train from Hogwarts, I believe, or something along those lines. And we have got there, very fun to watch as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, come on you Quins, from Sebastian. And do you watch local rugby? I try and do my best, but I haven't really been out and about to be able to watch as much as I can. But I do the Bunnings NBC, which is a kind of provincial championship here in New Zealand with the 14 sides from all around the country. I have been covering quite a few of those matches, and I want to continue to cover those matches as well, because at the end of the day, like, they are the local guys that we're going to get to see play Super Rugby, that we're going to get to see one day at international level, and I want to follow those guys through their journey as a international rugby player perhaps in the future. I bet he's got a lot of Expelliarmus as well, says the thick boy. But now another cut up on the field, and it is going to be Exeter Chiefs player here. So at this stage, we've had 2 lots of cuts early on in this one, seeming like there's going to be plenty of blood put out on that field. But we are just showing a few replays of what Leicester are doing so far. And we have got, did you play rugby as a kid as well? I did indeed. I did used to play out on the wing, but I mentioned on one of the live streams earlier, anytime I played out on the wing, I didn't get the ball pretty much. Is about as simple as it gets. I was in a team, unfortunately, with a number 9 and a number 10 who thought that they were pretty good, so they would never pass the ball. And we continued to lose games while they would not pass the ball, but they were too persistent to just keep on going by themselves. And their dads were the coaches, so no one was getting the ball in that back line. So that is why I ended up giving it up, unfortunately. We have also got the yes, awesome pass, Katie, and also any Kiwis in this comp. Says Shane, there are a few scattered through. I believe Harlequins are probably your best bet in terms of the most Kiwis on the side. But also we saw Stephen Luatua for Bristol Bears a little bit earlier on in that game that took place at 6:45 this morning that we did cover as well. And we have got the endless quotes. I would change my name as well as the comment. And I guess either his parents are very big fans of Harry Potter. Imagine having that name and not really like realizing, I should say, that is the case. Although now that I think about it, when did Harry Potter come out? Because he looked like he was probably maybe mid-20s, early 30s at the absolute most. Ron Weasley as well, says the boy, and also Chiefs to win by 10 is the prediction from Achilles. So depending on how old Harry Potter is, perhaps he had that name before he even was, or before Harry Potter even came out. But Northampton now leading their game 10-0 up against Gloucester, which is a very good start for them. We will add that one to the sheet at the moment. So it was a converted try in Northampton. The try went the way of Furbank, was the man who was able to score it there, and it's going to be a Leicester penalty at scrum time. Everyone is down on the ground at the moment. I tell you what, there's a good crowd here at Welford Road for this match. Going to be quite a difficult kick from about 55 metres out, so I assume they will try to go for the corner, but it was Harry Williams who was getting penalised there. And oh yeah, there's no way he was born before Harry Potter came out. It came out in 1995 as well. That's divine timing as well, says Katie Dixon. So perhaps it was right when it came out. I know that there's a little bit of a story that if my sister was a boy, she was going to be named Forrest. because of the fact that Forrest Gump had just come out at the time. But luckily for her, she was born a girl, so she did not get called Forrest in that regard. But at this stage now, it's going to be Leicester just inside of the 22 now. 20 metres out with the line-out throw. And I'm excited to see how many tries we get to see in this game, because in the Bristol Bears versus Saracens game, we only saw the one of Alex Lewington. Surely we're getting more than that in this game. It's going to be claimed nicely. Passed out now. George Ford trying to link up with Alex Genge. Or Ellis Genge. Ellis Genge. Oh, it's a beautiful run from Nadolo. Quick hands as well on the outside. Oh, no. He's been taken down there, unfortunately, by his own fella. And they are going to be 10 metres out. Tell you what, Ellis did not want to come off the tongue. That is for sure. But Bayan pass back here. Quick hands. George Ford linking up with Ben Moon on the outside. Well, sorry, Dan Cole is the name of him. Going back wide once again. George Ford sells a bit of a dummy, and they're going through here. Leicester getting only 5 metres out. Can they find their way over the try line for the first time in this match? It's going to be a flat ball once again from it would have been, or a little bit high, unfortunately for them. So they're going short side once again. And it's going to be Ben Youngs once again linking up with those forwards. Youngs gives it across now. Quick hands. George Ford. Namani Nadolo offload as well to Genge, driving at the line. Still 5 out here for Leicester. Dan Cole looking like he wanted it. Youngs once again offloading it now. Can they get their way over the try line? Kicking and going again there for Liebenberg, I believe the name is. That's going to be the try. And what a dive it was as well from Freddie Stewart to score the opening match try of this game. And it is going to be now. I keep on adding up that, but it actually does it by itself. I don't need to press anything. I have just realized I keep on trying to add to the scoreboard, but it does it itself, so we are all right there. Do you travel around the world to watch the All Blacks as well, says Xavier? I have never actually been to an All Blacks game. The biggest game that I think I have been to is probably, I think it's Canterbury versus Otago, or maybe it was actually Crusaders versus Highlanders, but other than that, I have not been to any other games. So it's an interesting one. Maybe one day we will be able to get ourselves on a plane and head to a few of the All Blacks contests. But we have also got there in the chat. Thanks for the streams of the games. No worries, mate. And also, I think the poor bastard was born before J.K. Rowling wrote the books. Unfortunate sort as well, says Sebastian. And also, we have got Honey Badger, Ven Villavula, and Brandon Payanga. Most all came through my local club, says Luke, which is pretty awesome there. And that would be located, and I assume it would be in Queensland somewhere, if I'm not wrong, Luke. And we have got there Leicester gaining as well, 5 short. And also, I just realised the suit's gone, and Kieran as well. Kieran has fallen over behind me. Although the thing is, Kieran was only gone because the cat was sitting on me. So I can actually stand up now, which feels weird. I don't normally stand up on these live streams. But I will let you guys know exactly what I did that was a mistake on the earlier one. Uh-oh. It's gone very quiet. Okay, never mind. I just accidentally turned it down. I was wondering what happened there. I couldn't hear anything. Kieran is back now, although he's slightly out to the side, so you can't quite see him at this stage. But George Ford has not struck that one nicely, so it's going to be 8-0 now in this game, and Leicester doing very nicely at the early stages of this one. We have got try in the chat from Steve, Katie, and also Sebastian. And also we have got the go the Highlanders game into go to a Highlanders game in Dunedin, says Shane. That will definitely have to be on the cards very soon. And also we have got their Forsyth Bar. Looks like a gorgeous stadium. I have actually been there a little while ago. I believe we watched the Wellington Phoenix play, if I'm not wrong there, that we did get to see it. And that was when I was probably about, I want to say about 13 or somewhere around there. It was a little while ago. And we have got, I've never been to a Wallabies game as well, said Luke. And also Kieran fell asleep, says Steve. Yeah, unfortunately, Kieran, he's had a long day for this one, but now it's going to be Josh Hodge passing it across field. It'll be the big man, Tuima, in the number 8 jersey. Exeter Chiefs trying to get straight back on the ball, but they are currently losing by 8 points. And bonus points could be crucial in this competition as well, we have seen. And Southern Districts, New South Wales as well, says Luke. And also there would love to go to a rugby game in every major city in New Zealand. And I actually had an idea for a video that was going to be something along those lines. It was going to be trying to travel to every stadium in New Zealand in 24 hours, but I wasn't sure how to plan it. And I think we would, it's a penalty to Exeter Chiefs. I think we would need a massive sponsor, like a car company or something, to be able to drive and fly all over the place in the country as well. And yeah, at this stage, I do love seeing those try emojis in there in the chat. And also local rugby games in small towns too as well, says Katie Dixon. And that is something that people have said, if I ever go to South Africa, that is what I've got to do. I've got to go to some of those smaller kind of provincial games. Exeter Chiefs now, they are taking on the corner, and that's a brilliant kick there from Joe Simmons. And because of it now, they're going to be about 6 meters out, and they will have this line out throw here for the Exeter Chiefs. But so far, all of these games have had a try in them so far. And we're only about 10, or actually we're 15 minutes in. Tell you what, this game is flying at the moment. First game at Forsyth Bar was the All Blacks versus South Africa as well, says Shane. That was actually, if believe it or not, that 25th of September game, I was very heavily considering going to that. That's a brilliant rolling maul there for the Exeter Chiefs. Only going to be a couple meters short and still only inches from the line. No, he's over. And it's a try, and it's a returning try for the Exeter Chiefs. They were able to get one a little bit earlier on Leicester, but now Exeter has said we'll have one of those as well. Who was it? Who did get it? I'm trying to look for it. Who was the man who was able to put it down? We're looking through. I think it may have been Alec Hepburn, maybe. Was it? No, it was their number 7 who was able to get over the line, which was Don Armand, who was able to score at crowd. What's amazing as well, says Shane. And also we have got, in case anyone's wondering, bonus point is earned as a result of scoring at least 4 tries, regardless how many the opponent team fares as well. And also we have got there in the chat, my sister and her boyfriend own 2 planes. They are trying to start a business where they shuttle people back and forth to the Bahamas. Maybe they can fly you around New Zealand. Then they go, or they go all the time for wine as well. Says it, Katie Dixon. And also we have got their great stuff, Chiefs, says Achilles. And also in the chat we have got from Luke, if you can get access to watching Shoot Shield games, you should stream them. Shoot Shield Rugby is so good as well. And I have heard the rumours of the fact that it is quite a good competition to watch for the Shoot Shield also. And I just want to cover as much rugby as I can, like provincial level rugby. A lot of people, that's not a good kick, unfortunately, for the Exeter Chiefs. I'm hoping they will update their scoreboard very soon here. It is still saying that it's 8-0, but it is currently 8 points to 5 for the Exeter Chiefs, being just those 3 points behind. We're also going to write her an email as well, says Katie Dixon. We'll have to wait and see. Depends on how it goes. How many people can fit on her plane, or their plane, I should say, because we would probably need all the Kiwi lads on that trip if we were to do so. We have got try from Sebastian as well. Flash score, I've realised now they are a little bit slow with the Gallagher Premiership as well. It seems to be the top 14 that they are just very, very quick with. But other than that, they seem to be a little bit later. Can you do any women rugby as well? Says Shane, I was actually going to be covering the Black Ferns versus the Wallaroos games as they were going to be happening, but then they got postponed, sadly. But I will do the Women's World Cup next year. It's going to be one that I will be looking forward to. And holy hell, that's actually pretty cool as well. Says Sebastian in the chat. What is not cool is the fact that Exeter Chiefs, they have still got them on 0. Even though they were able to score that try. Hopefully they update it very, very soon. And we have got there are just mini planes, or they are just mini planes, like 4-seaters, trying to expand the fleet as well, says Katie. There we go. It is up to 5 now. And we are good to go, going once again to the front of the line out now for Leicester on the halfway line. George Ford passes it across once again. Exeter to defence. It's driving them backwards a little bit here. And discipline will have to be important. We saw in that game between Saracens and Bristol Bears, there were a huge amount of penalties that is going to be in the hands now of Jack Noel, and he is going to be returning fire with a big boot straight down the middle of the field, taken nicely by George Ford, who looks like he was going to kick instead now. Sells a bit of a dummy, gives it to Stewart in the number 15 jersey, the man who was able to score the try for them. Hey, mate, I'm in the middle of it as well, says James Gordon. Welcome into Livestream I. It is currently 2:23 a.m., so we are doing a little bit of that late night editing. I do respect the grind there, mate. But now going back out the back line, it's going to be Stewart on the outside. That's forward, and it is going to be now the Exeter Chiefs who will have the scrum feed we have got there. I'm telling you, if the FS admin jumps in, or Flash Score admin jumps into a pool, he would dissolve because of all the substance in his system, says Sebastian. And Michaela Blight, is my favourite current women's player as well. She is very good for the Black Ferns, of course, scoring a lot of tries in that competition recently for the Olympic Sevens. And she's just got pace for days as well. I actually see that Worcester have been able to score themselves a try and convert. So they are now going to be in the lead for that match up against the London Irish. We will see who scored that one. It was a try for S. Lewis, was the man who was able to score that one in that match. We're doing multiple at the same time. Hopefully it does all keep on running smoothly. I've done at the most 2 games at the same time, and that was on the day of Canterbury versus Manawatu, and also another match that we did cover. I can't remember what the other match was, though. And that match that we did cover was actually the match that I was covering. So that is a little bit unfortunate. It might have been Wellington versus someone, maybe, if I'm not wrong. But now it's going to be in the hands of Henry Slade. A little bit of a loose ball. Jack Noel going to have to clean up 40 metres out from his own line here. A little bit of a stutter step, but not quite able to get through. Almost ripped away there as well. And he is still going forward here. George Ford passing him back again. It's going to be Tuama in the number 8 jersey for the Exeter Chiefs. I feel like my commentary is slightly hesitant at this stage, but they got the advantage. Now it's going to be Jack Noel just trying to run over the top of Harry Potter. And now it's going to be the penalty to the Exeter Chiefs. We have got there in the chat, some of the best Australian 7s and 15s players come through Shoot Shield, and there are probably some Shoot Shield teams that are better than the Warriors as well, says Luke. And of course, we are going to get to see Fiji and Thurua make their way into Super Rugby. That's going to be very exciting when we do get to see them and Moana Pacifica both getting a chance early on in Super Rugby Pacific next year. Sebastian and Katie, I'm doing great, thanks. And you too as well, says Achilles. And also we have got there in the chat, I'm making a couple edit. I'm posting on TikTok, and I feel like my sister, as well, says James Gordon. And also we have got I went to every Highlanders game in Dunedin this year. That would have been absolutely awesome for you to be able to. Did you have the season pass, or was it just kind of you went to them as they were kind of tickets available? Do let me know. Oh, I'd absolutely love a season pass. Like one day, I'd love to live just down the road from a stadium and be able to go to every single game. That's a beautiful drive there for the Exeter Chiefs. 15 metres out now, running forward here for them. Are they going to be able to get themselves the second try of this match? Tuema once again getting the carry. It's been busy in that number 8 jersey so far, tackled by his opposite number there, Leibenberg. Dan Cole making the tackle here, driving him backwards as well. Almost became a rolling ball, and he's ripped the ball away in the breakdown. And now it is going to be the opportunity for the Leicester Tigers just outside of their 22, or is it? There's a call here, and I believe they are going to say because he was tackled that it is not considered as a stripping opportunity. Where is my cat at the moment? Feel like he might want out of the lounge. Where is he? I do not see him. So what I will do, while we've got just this little bit of a stoppage in play, come on, score as well, says Steve Smith. I think he is at the door, my cat, so I will let him out of the lounge. We'll be back in just a short moment, but it is going to be the scrum feed. Oh, no, he's between my legs. Hello. How you going? Did you want out of the lounge, mate, or did you want to just chill out? He's kind of doing loops of the lounge, just looking around as if he's never been in this room before. But I think he has been quite a few times. We have got there the Zubro with all the students. It goes off as well, says Shane. And also we have got there, Katie, sounds like you're having a blast. Enjoy yourself. And I'm glad to hear you're doing good as well, says Kelly's. And also we have got there doing great at 8:25 a.m. Cool. And nice and cool outside. And I'm mummified in my favourite blanket with coffee, and the rugby life is good as well. And in there, if the channel keeps growing, mate, at this rate, Hamish, you will definitely be able to move to a major city of your choice soon as well, says Katie Dixon. Who knows, maybe one day we will be able to relocate. Although the big thing is, if I was to relocate, I feel like I will want to take all of the Kiwi lads with me because of the fact that imagine us four going to every single game of a season for someone. It would be a little bit hectic. As well, Mr. Bigglesworth as well, says Steve Smith. And also we have got the Billy emojis in the chat. He kind of keeps on doing the loops. I'm not sure whether he's at the door or whether he is still below me. I kind of have to look around as if we're playing hide and seek at the moment. And we have got there the biggest game I have been to was the Waratahs versus Crusaders Super Rugby Grand Final, says Luke as well. So that would have been a pretty awesome game. Any game that is a final, it just has that real finals feel, and it's absolutely awesome for the kind of for the another penalty for Leicester at scrum time. So they're doing very nicely indeed. But yeah, it just has that different kind of atmosphere that you can't replicate, is that kind of thing. And tries scorers so far, Freddie Stewart of Leicester, and also Don Armand of the Chiefs. And tell you what, Sebastian, you are smart, because now, look at that. Oh, I haven't actually noticed your logo in a little while, Sebastian, but it looks very nice indeed with the S and the G. I can actually put that up on the screen from some of you guys. It is very much appreciated because of the fact people will be curious to know who has been scoring the tries. But Freddie Stewart was the man who scored for Leicester, and then Don Armand was the man who scored for the Exeter Chiefs. We have got there, that's union or rugby union wise though as well. And are there any loans? Is there any loans in Premiership and Super Rugby? Oh, Nadolo through the gap, and that man is a dangerous ball runner, looking for the offload at it in one hand, decided not to pass it 5 meters out. I will come back to that in a very short moment, but wide sling out pass, and it's going to be another try. And it's the wizard, Harry Potter, who was able to score it out on the wing. Or has he? I believe he is, and that is going to be the try there for Harry Potter out on the wing. I'm not even exaggerating his name. It is Harry Potter, spelt the same way as well. And they are absolutely loving it. I'm not sure what the crowd are chanting. I was trying to hear whether or not they were saying something to do with Hogwarts, but it is this situation of, I believe they have a few loans happening. Super Rugby a bit less. Only really, I believe the last loan that I can remember was kind of Joe Marchant from the Harlequins. As well, do you ever sleep, says Jamie. Normally, it's weird hours of the day that I am sleeping, but pretty much I do as many of these live streams at any time for you guys as well. So the Gallagher Premiership, this is our last one of the night. We were going to do a game at 7 a.m, but I decided instead of doing that game, I am instead going to do the game that is going to be happening between the Ranfurly Shield, Hawke's Bay, who are the owners of the Ranfurly Shield at the moment, and also the other side in this one is going to be the Bay of Plenty. His Patronus is a boat as well, or is a boot, sorry, says Katie Dixon. And also I've been to an NRL grand final and a Super Bowl as well, says Luke, which is extremely awesome as well for a grand final. And also we have got the I will travel for Highlanders games, says Shane. Did you go to the Super Rugby final for Super Rugby Trans-Tasman? Shane, do let me know. And we have also got there, I'm making a couple edit, and I feel like my little sister and her friends are going to be like, and my friends, that's cool, and my viewers as well, says James Gordon. That one has not gone over, but it is still the try to Leicester, and hopefully they do update it very soon in terms. There we go. It's Nathan right there. I thought Nadolo retired or something. He was going to retire a couple years ago, but Nadolo, he just keeps on going. And when he's running over the top of people like he did just there, there's no need to, because he just kept going. Nadolo knew not to pass that one for the offload. It's got to be an interception. G'day, mate. My cat has decided to give me a little tap as well. No, watch it on Sky as well, says Shane. And also we have got there, I live in the US, mate. Born in Florida, but now I live in New Mexico as well. And also we have got there, my Patronus is a Coke as well. Or sorry, is a cake, says Katie Dixon. And we have also got there, no, watch it on Sky, says it is Shane. But at this stage, like, that was a great grand final as well. I know that the Highlanders didn't win it, but the fact that it kind of gave Super Rugby a little bit of a rejuvenation, because people were so used to seeing it just be like pretty much the Crusaders versus someone. Everyone thought it might be Crusaders and the Blues. And we have got, I want to update the try squad as well, says Achilles. I will do that in just a short moment. You seriously sound like a perfect commentator. As well, says Jamie, thank you very much, mate. I hugely appreciate all the support you guys have been showing on the channel, because of the fact that we have just been growing phenomenally. And it is all down to you guys. You guys are the ones who are hitting the like button, hitting that subscribe button, and helping us continue to grow. It's going to be kicked downfield there by Ben Youngs down the middle of the field, though. So now it's going to be O'Flaherty now, looking for the step through the middle, not quite able to break through. 2 tackles straight on the ball there, almost stolen by Leicester. Going to be going back once again. It's going to be Simmons trying to step. He's going to be driven backwards by, it was Thomas Raffel was able to make that one. Once again, O'Flaherty getting another carry here out the back line, looking like it is going to be on the cards, or dropped by Henry Slade, or was it? I think it hit his boot. No, it is going to be the knock on, and now it will be the scrum fee for Leicester. Here we have what's got there. And the Jack, can you please do some NRL as well, says Shane Hayes. I always look at the NRL and I want to do it, although I haven't really got that much knowledge when it comes to the NRL so far, unfortunately. And also I know that the copyright system is a little bit stricter. So more than likely, if we were to do NRL, it would be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, which is our secondary channel, kind of as our backup, just in case the channel for some reason ends up with a strike in the future. That's a fantastic avatar, Sebastian. The small chat view, I usually see does not do it justice. And I absolutely tell you what, I haven't actually seen it up close for that one. Have you always had that one, Sebastian, or how long ago did you change it? Because I believe you used to have an old one, if I'm not wrong there. We have got, how many points did the All Blacks win with? I believe the score was 36 points to 13. And the reason I know that score off by heart is because I entered a competition on the All Blacks kind of Instagram page, and it was, if you can predict the exact scoreline of the game you go in the draw to win $1,000 All Blacks gift voucher. And I predicted 43 to 13. But the All Blacks, rather than going for one last attack, they did kick the ball out. And I was sad, because I was like, how many people would have predicted that exact scoreline for the match? So I could have got myself a $1,000 gift voucher. Kieran could have been decked out head to toe with All Blacks gear. And also maybe myself a little bit on the side as well. We have got that. Is that Chief Centre sponsored by Red Bulls? Or Red Bull, sorry, says Luke. I believe if you're talking about Henry Slade, I believe that would be. I'm not too sure. I know Bowden Barrett's got a little bit of a Red Bull sponsorship. Little chip in behind here from Youngs, looking for a bit of space in behind. It's going to be marked by Hodge, and it's going dead in the in goal. So now it does mean that they are going to be going back to where that kick was taken. And it's interesting, because the in-goal area for these guys is very small at Leicester. It is at the Welford Road is where this game is being played as well. And thank you, mate, as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got there, I hear, up here. I'll tell you what, I need to try and spell that, or I need to try and say it. Arpegios, hopefully I pronounced that correctly as well. And we have got there, I could feel how much you wanted that last try during that stream, mate, says Thick Boy. I'm normally completely impartial, and I was still impartial for that game, but it was just the factor of that there was going to be a little bit extra on the line for the one if it was going to be a try to the All Blacks. I just wanted to see it. One more would have had the exact scoreline. I would have been very happy indeed. I could feel how much you wanted it. And also there is a Chiefs player with a Red Bull headgear as well. Red Bull headgear. That might actually be Ollie Devoto, is it? Who has got the Red Bull? No, he hasn't got it. It might actually be out on the other wing. Oh, Jack Noel. It might be Jack Noel. It's not Henry Slade as well, says Luke. Is it Jack Noel who has got the Red Bull headgear? Yeah, it is. I believe he is out on the wing there, Jack Noel. So here's the sponsorship boy at this stage. Exeter Chiefs going to have this ball currently 45 metres out from the Leicester line. We are 28 minutes into this game already. It is flying by. I'm keeping an eye on the other scores in the games below. And we have not had any more tries. So this game is actually the most tries that we've had in a game so far. So I certainly had the right one on Sky. I believe they were only showing one Sky one of these three, though. So I guess I was very lucky in that regard. But now it's going to be once again going back into the hands of it would have been Maunda passing it. Still available for the Maunda. Gives it now first receiver. Going to be a backline movement. Slade dropping the ball. It's going to be a knock-on advantage to go backwards. And now it's going to be the quick step and Hodge. And it is going to be the penalty going back for it. And also we have got, him as well. Says Luke. And also is Nick Evans still around? Says Shane. Nick Evans, that is a good question. That is a name that should ring a bell, but is not ringing a bell, unfortunately. You may have to inform me of who it is. Oh, it was a late tackle there. And it was a little bit of an awkward one there from Alice Genge. On it was Sam Simmons, but we have got there. Never seen a red ball headgear before. I think the only headgear I've really seen is Chisel and Colby's. And then also when you've got like a lock or someone, I don't think I've seen too many backs, but it seems to be a common thing for a number 14 to have headgear nowadays, which I guess is one of those ones that normally they're speedy enough that you can't even tell what's written on their headgear because they're just zooming by. But we have got, I go to every Melbourne Rebels home game. Their tickets are so cheap. They sometimes give them out for free because they need fans as well. Says Xavier Browns, is Nick Phipps still playing? That is a good question from Xavier. I believe he was playing for London Irish, if I'm not wrong. We'll have a look and see whether or not he is in their starting lineup at this stage in the match that they are playing at the moment. We'll have a quick look. But first of all, Exeter Chiefs, Mr. Red Bull offloads it now. It's a great tackle there on Hodge. Only 5 metres short. Once again, Henry Slade getting close to the line here for Exeter, and they are trying to make their way over the try line once again, getting close. A metre short. They've got the advantage as well. Round the side. And they are still offside here. Danko, I believe, was the man who made that tackle. It's going to be almost Tuima who was able to score it. Going short side, ducking in. Over the line. Was it a second movement? They will have to go upstairs and have a look. But looking at it, Nick Phipps, he is not playing in that game in the starting lineup, and he is not on the bench. So if he is at the London Irish still, he is not in that starting lineup or reserves for this game, but he might still be in this squad. I'm not too sure about that. Yes, for London Irish as well, says Luke. And also we have got their play for Otago and the Highlanders as well, says Shane. Nick Evans. I'm thinking of Gareth Evans, I think, and also Bryn Evans is another player. All of the Evans that I'm thinking of is everyone but Nick, unfortunately, in that regard. So I know Bryn Evans is still at the Highlanders, I think, even though he is sitting at around 34 or 36 or something. They're just trying to see whether or not was double movement. I'm not sure whether or not he was held, actually. So he might have been all right to go again here. Just dropping down, and it's whether or not no arm tackle, they are saying possibly from the current commentary team. So the on-field decision is no try for the double movement, as they are saying that he was slightly held. But the big question is whether or not this was considered enough of a double movement. No, me and my first friend, they are the only ones I think as well. And the others got there. He can still play for the Wallabies, Nick Phipps, but the G'day law exists as well, says Luke. Although they are getting rid of that, of course, with Samu Karevi, and also it was, who was the other player that did get in there? It was Isaac Rodder, who got an opportunity for them. My little brother got banned on TikTok for copywriting and posting bad stuff, and he maybe was young. Am I the only one posting good stuff out there? People that I know as well, says James Gordon. I mean, it's one of those ones we try and be PG on this channel, but then on the Kiwi Lads Gaming, George swears like he's a sailor over there. They are just checking this one over and over again. It's pretty much whether or not it was double movement. But they already had the advantage here. So if it is not going to be a try, it will be a penalty for Exeter Chiefs, only a few metres short. He was trying to get the ball there. That number 7, I believe it was, if I'm not wrong. Maybe Tommy Reffel trying to get in the way of that one. We have got there in the chat as well. I'd go to the support. I'd go to a Melbourne Rebels game. I'd support them as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, I feel like I would just want to have a lot of teams kind of ticked off the bucket list. I haven't really had too many games that I've gone to live. In fact, hardly any. Only that provincial game or the Super Rugby one from ages ago when I was just a young child, when Dan Carter tried to kick me the ball and it landed in front of us. But then, unfortunately, some fella who was in front of us just reached over the seat at my feet and ripped it away. And he was able to keep that ball. And we have got the Australia constantly smells like bushfire. My nose is blocked as well, says Luke. So Maunda was the man who went round the side here. They're just checking this one multiple times, saying maybe Alice Genge didn't really wrap his arms there. So he wasn't completely held there for Maunda. So maybe this is going to be a try for Jack Maunda. Are they going to consider this as a try? I believe it was Callum Green who tried to make the big shot here just stop him from going back. Alice Gens pretty much just lies in the way of the line as well. I want to see my sister get banned as well, says James Gordon. They are going upstairs. They have finished it. What is the call going to be? He is tackled. It's another movement, but they still had the advantage. So we'll be going back for the penalty here. And I do see now that Gloucester have been able to score themselves a try as well in their game. So we will add that one. It is going to be the no try. And all of these games looking like they're going to be relatively close today, all at the same time, but we will update that. And now Gloucester are going to be sitting on the 5 points. Looking very good indeed. We have got the Melbourne Rebels have improved in Super Rugby as well, and hopefully they do continue to improve. I want to see some Australian sides finish above New Zealand sides, which is a huge shout, seeing as I am from New Zealand, but I want to see it be competitive. And if they play like they do, or I'll tell you what, he's just dropped himself at the line there. I believe it would have been Nick Dolly in the number 2 jersey here. Or sorry, it would have actually been Jack Inner getting close. They're over the line, are they? Is the ball available? They've got another advantage. This could be a yellow card up against Leicester here, depending on where they go. It is going to be once again Jack Inner with another carry, creeping closer and closer to the line. Are they going to be able to get over for their third or their second? Sorry, in this first half, they're close, but not quite close enough to be able to get over the line. And it's going to be going back for the penalty once again. And how are crowds in games as well? Says Shane. At this stage, they have actually got, I would say, I don't really know the ground too well, so I'm not sure about their capacity, but I would assume that they've got themselves at least 5,000, maybe even 10 at the ground here. It's going to be Tuima now getting another carry for Exeter. They're trying to get themselves their second try. The sun is out. It's a beautiful afternoon there at WELFORD Road. If there's another penalty advantage, it could end up with a man going to the bin, but the Leicester Tigers, their fans are getting behind them. They're wanting them to defend as hard as they can at the moment. They've got a 7-point lead. Actually, an 8-point lead, sorry. Exeter Chiefs once again breaking off the side. It's good defense so far on the line from Leicester, really not letting them go through up until maybe now, because Tuima getting close, very close to the line, but great defense once again from Leicester. They're going to be putting together a few more phases. My cat is tapping me on the shoulder saying, "You've seen that try?" Because it might be coming up. Maybe you can predict the future, can you? We will have to wait and see. It's going to be now going back once again for the Exeter Chiefs. They are getting closer and closer to the line, only a metre short now. Once again, it will be in it. Does he take the carry himself? They've got the advantage once again here. They've been able to stop them, Leicester. This is just back to back to back to back on the line here. They're not letting them through, but they have got another advantage close to the line. Tuima once again getting isolated by the Leicester defence. Now using the back line here, it looks like it's opening up. Sam Simmons isolated, finds the offload though. Over the top, and it's going to be taken by Nadolo. Kick downfield as well, and now it's going to be another penalty to the Exeter Chiefs. But tell you what, there is a round of applause going up at the crowd at the moment, because the defence from Leicester, they are not letting them through here. We have got there. I wish there was a way to point out a jersey that someone in the crowd is wearing and ask what team it belongs to. These jerseys are so colourful and well designed. They are like candy as well, says Katie Dixon. And they actually change them normally every year to an extent for this competition, which is pretty awesome. I do see some good ones in the background. The Leicester Tigers one, is it the rainbow one from the guy with the glasses that you are looking at, Katie? The blue in the background just there maybe was the case. And we have got there where you need COVID gone so we can have crowds as well, says Shane. Yeah, it is a shame seeing those Bunnings NBC games with only a couple people in the stands. We want to see sold out games. I want people to get behind the Bunnings NBC because it's actually a very good competition. It's just Super Rugby with 14 teams is the way I look at it. Once again, throwing himself at the line. He's got there this time, and it's Jack in it, and he has been able to score himself a second try for Exeter Chiefs, and they are both sitting on 2 at the moment. 33 minutes into this game, and we have got our highest scoring game out of the lot, ladies and gentlemen. We have also got the Hamish, see that bald guy in the crowd with the blue jersey on, the one with all the colourful bits. I believe it was the ones down there, if I'm not wrong. Yes, that jersey is so nice. I need information about this jersey, so perhaps if we have got anyone from Leicester, do let us know what one is the kind of, I guess you'd call it a cyan, kind of a bluish green, I guess you could say, with the rainbow stripe along there. Do let us know. We have got there is a bushfire near me as well, says Luke, so hopefully that does not spread for you, mate, and hopefully they are able to put it out pretty quickly. We have also got there, or lol Billy as well, and the Billy and the emoji from Katie in the chat. They're actually checking this one again. Maybe it's going to be a no try. I'm wondering where my cat went once again. I think I will have to let him out of the lounge, but we have got another 6.5 minutes, so hopefully he is willing to wait there. We have also got there, like a cyan aquamarine, blue from Katie Dixon. And also I had a ticket for the All Blacks versus South Africa test in Dunedin. I'm still disappointed that they weren't able to have that one in Dunedin. It would have been an atmosphere and a half. Suncorp Stadium, I really want to see them get a sellout for that game because it's going to be an absolutely huge occasion. We're going to be covering it on the channel as well. They're just saying, I think he was held, and then that's going to be a no try. That's going to be a no try because of the fact that he has crawled forward after being tackled there. So I believe they are going to take that one away from Jack Innard. And this one, he was propelling himself forward on his knees, and also our mate, as well says Katie Dixon. And at this stage, I'm getting a notification saying that Montpellier versus Toulouse is going to be kicking off very soon indeed, which is very exciting. And that is once again a good win for Leicester, only a few metres out from their line. They've been able to defend extremely well throughout this first half, and also was sold out. Yeah, would have been absolutely incredible, that one we have got there. What would you do if the Wallabies were losing to ABs and your cat runs all the way and beats up the ABs player because he trained by scratching Kieran? Kieran, sorry, says James Gordon. I mean, Kieran at this stage, he's pretty flat, so I feel like the cat has actually had a go at him at some stage. So I'm going to have to pump him up very soon. But for Halloween, we were going to dress him up in some sort of way for Kieran. There we have. It's got the there was no wind, and it's being controlled. And I thought it was a hazard reduction, says Luke Palmer. So yeah, hopefully, Luke Palmer, I should say. So yeah, hopefully they do get that one sorted. It's going to be taken by the Leicester Tigers now in the rolling ball, still leading this match by 8 points. And they will be able to get themselves another try maybe before the end of this first half, chasing the bonus point in this one, Leicester. And that is a brilliant rolling ball. We saw it up against, I believe it was Montpellier, that they did try it up against in the Challenge Cup final, where they were actually able to get that win. If I'm not wrong, the Leicester Tigers are now driving forward. It's a great run there from George Martin, who's dragged down 40 metres out from the line. Once again, Young's trying to go quickly around this side. Wasn't able to make too many metres now. Going to be the lock. A little knock on, almost there. No, Dan Cole was able to push it just backwards. That one is going to be a tackle. Now the ball needs to be available for them. Yes, they have got it here. And Youngs looks like he's going to be kicking this one in behind, kicking it high, just outside of the 22. Is it? Yes, it is. Perfectly weighted. O'Flaherty able to take it nicely, though, and it did go backwards on the ground. But Leicester straight in there if they got the ball. No, still going to be available for the Exeter Chiefs. And we have got a weird question. Have you ever watched an AFL game, Australian football? I have actually been to an Australian football game, and it was about 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not wrong. And we have got the I don't get AFL, says Shane Hayes. It's a little bit confusing at times, but pretty much I saw that people were comparing the Springboks' last performance up against the Wallabies, and they were saying that they've seen more kicking or they've seen less kicking, in an AFL game than what the Springboks were doing. But their last performance was a bit better from the Springboks in terms of that kicking game. Alex Genge now under a bit of pressure. But AFL is another one that would be pretty cool to cover on the Kiwi Lads Sport Channel. Going to be going back George Ford now. All onside is the call from the referee. It's going high. Taken nicely there by Maunda, trying to pierce the line, but he is dragged down by Liebenberg. Exeter Chiefs only have 4 minutes left in this first half. They need to make sure that they can try and find their way to the try line. Try and get back into this one. Even with a try converted, they would still be 1 point behind. But if you lose a game by 7 or less points, you do get yourself that bonus point. It's going to be now rolled back by Maunda. The crowd did not like that one bit. A little bit too long there, and it's going to be taken very nicely there by Stewart once again. He has been able to score himself a try already in this match, and Leicester are really getting some good go forward when they have the ball in hand. It's going to be a backline movement here. Where is the winger? It is Harry Potter, who isn't quite getting the opportunity. He's tried to go again. He had a man on his back, giving him a piggyback ride in that situation. George Ford now trying to break the line, passes it back, quick hands, and it's opening up on the outside. It's going to be Stewart with a little chip of mine, chasing it hard, and it's going to be bouncing awkwardly for Exeter. Picked up by Stewart, he gets it, but what a great low tackle there from it was Josh Hodge. Tell you what, round of applause for that man. They're still going to score the try, and it was George Ford who was able to do it, but what a tackle from Hodge there. The awkward bouncing ball just didn't like him, but then from there, still able to get it. And Worcester have also scored themselves a try. And this one, by the looks of it, they are going to be sitting on 12 points now. What a brilliant tackle from Hodge. I say it many times over. When you have a defensive tackle like that, you seem like it's going to shift the momentum of the game, but unfortunately for him, just wasn't quite able to stop him. Chip him behind by Stewart. The ball didn't like him. He almost took it a little bit too casually, Hodge. So for him to be able to get back across and tackle Stewart there, but then he wasn't going to be able to stop. I believe it was George Ford who actually threw the body on the line and pushed his way over the line and scored the try for the... was it George Ford? Yeah, it might have been. He covered a lot of ground there, George Ford, to be able to be their try as well. And I still live in Australia and still don't get AFL as well, says Steve Smith. And also, is Australian football like soccer, or is it like arena football, AFL / NFL? I guess the easiest way to describe it is it's on like a massive oval, pretty much, I guess is one way to say it. So it's pretty much a massive oval. And then from there, you've got 3 sets of posts on either side. You got the 2 middle, and then you got the 2 on the outside. Kind of like that, I guess, maybe a little bit, if you're looking down like that. No, I'm not sure whatever way I'm doing it. It just looks like I'm doing the peace sign, like I'm taking a nice photo. But pretty much you got 2 sticks, and then the middle sticks as well. And if you kick it through that middle one, it's 6 points. If you kick it through either of those 2, it is 1 point. And if you miss it completely, you do not get a point. And it's kind of just like the referees in that, they need conditioning because they just throw their bodies up in the air to try and get that one. George Ford, great kick down the middle there. And because of it now, it does mean that they are going to be leading this one, the Leicester Tigers. And they are going to be sitting on 20 points compared to the Exeter Chiefs 5. Sounds like Quidditch as well, says Katie Dixon. I guess a little bit, other than the rings, I guess isn't a terrible description of it. And then we obviously got the Aussie rules is completely different, its own sport as well. And also Leicester try on the chat. And also 10-5 in the Northampton winning at halftime, says Luke. And we are getting very close to the halftime in this game. We've still got 1 minute left. It is running the longest. It has had the most try scorers. Freddie Stewart, Nemani Nadolo, also Matt Scott for Leicester was a man who was able to, was he the one who scored that last try? I thought it was George Ford who pushed his way over the line there. But fair play to that man who would be in the number, Matt Scott. He is sitting in that number 13 jersey, was able to get in there and score the try for Leicester. At the stage, though, Exeter Chiefs, they need to make sure that they get back into this match very soon. Katie, without the broomsticks, of course, says Steve Smith. Although there is a lot of push and shove, of course, into that. Like we saw in Harry Potter, of course, with the Quidditch, he got knocked off the broomstick, didn't he? Or someone got smacked into the side. I realise it seems kind of funny that we're talking about Harry Potter, talking about Quidditch, and there is a player out on the field called Harry Potter. It's like the perfect combo in that regard, but now it is going to be a big carry there from Will Whitty, getting driven backwards straight on the ball there, and he's stolen it clean there. It was actually George Ford who was able to get in there. Alice Skins now going short side. Nemani Nadolo available on the outside. Instead now breaking the line once again. Leicester, they are on fire in this game at the moment. And they just continue to go. Nick Dolly there with the carry. Can they get themselves one more? The ball's been knocked down. It's going to be a knock-on advantage. Passed across now to Tuima, trying to make a couple extra meters here for the Exeter Chiefs. Coming through the middle there was one of the players, and it is going to be a knock-on. And then rolling on the ground. That's going to be halftime in this game between the two sides. I got knocked out. When I did play AFL, I had a massive head clash with someone when contesting for the ball, as well, says Luke. And also we have got there Australian football. It's Quidditch. It's up for Katie Dixon. And what a rough start to the season for the top 2 teams last season. Both Bears and Chiefs struggling. Yeah, at this stage, you would say they are missing a few players, of course, Exeter. Although the only one that I can really think of is probably Stuart Hogg. And also someone said one a little bit earlier on. I'm giggle snorting as well, says Katie Dixon in there. But yeah, we're going to be, it's a long season. I have to say as well, like everyone plays everyone twice, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So you're looking at how many rounds have we got in this competition. You've got 26 rounds and then the playoff game. So there's plenty of time for these sides to be able to have an impact out there and be able to work their way towards. At the end of the day, I will quickly go back across to see the round 1. But I have actually got the table. And something that the table tells us is the fact that at the end of the day, you've only got to be really in the top 4. And then you've got those playoff games. Also, top 5 to 8 will go into the Champions Cup. And then 9, 10, 11, 12 will all go into the Challenge Cup. So at this stage, Exeter and also Saracens will both be sitting down there if they lose their games. So this is before the round. We will do a little bit of a summary as well. Where is Sam Simmons? He is in the, I think he was kind of training with England, if I'm not wrong. No, that's the wrong answer. Maybe he was still with the British and Irish Lions. They've kind of got a little bit of rest in that regard. And we have got there 26 rounds, 2 semi-finals, and the Queen's crowning as well from Sebastian. And I'm surprised sport is happening in Australia, says Shane as well. And I stopped watching it because he wasn't playing as well, says Luke. And I believe, yeah, all of the British and Irish Lions players still get a little bit more kind of rest time, I guess you could say, because of the fact that it was a very intense tour up against the Springboks, who now, unfortunately, are in a little bit of a tricky situation, as they do have a couple losses in a row up against the Wallabies and 2 big games up against the All Blacks coming up this weekend. We have also got Shane Hayes, as only 2 states have COVID, as well, says Luke. This stage now, what do we got? We will see some of the results of these first games. Tell you what, it's the highest scoring one. It's had the most tries. All of the games at this stage. There's been 3 tries in Northampton versus Gloucester. Also 3 tries in Worcester versus London Irish. And we've had 5 tries in this match. 4 tries. I am lying. It's only the 4. and it's been very impressive in this game so far for Leicester. They've had a brilliant start to the match. They've had 56% of the possession. Meters carried, apparently, the Exeter Chiefs have only carried 13 meters, according to these stats. Defenders beaten 7-5, 130 meters carried, though. Says, that means Leicester in this match in the first half have had 10 times more meters carried than it is Exeter Chiefs. That is insane. 11 offloads to just the 2 as well. And then the tackles they have. Currently, Exeter Chiefs, tell you what, the stats don't like them. They've made 19 tackles. They've missed 12. 57 tackles made by Leicester, only missing the 4 as well. So very impressive in that regard. We've had quite a few penalties, have we? 6 and 7. 6 against Exeter Chiefs, 7 up against Leicester. And then looking through at some of the other stats, player stats at this stage, they have kind of updated it. Nemani Nadolo having 47 meters carried from 2 carries, 2 defenders beaten, and 1 clean break. And then other than that, though, that is pretty much the only name, other than Freddie Stewart, that has got 3 defenders beaten, 1 clean break, and 40 meters carried for that man. But other than that, we haven't really got too many stats to go off for this first half. We have what's got there in the chat. Is there a Division 2 in the Premiership? And is there relegation? Says Xavier and Luke. There's 3 active New South Wales and Victoria as well. Says, that would be ACT, New South Wales and Victoria, says Xavier Brown. There's normally relegation and promotion, which is why Saracens are in the Premiership this year. But I don't believe there is actually demotion or kind of relegation this year. I think they are playing it with 13. I'm not sure whether or not a team from the kind of lower grade, which I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, unfortunately, but it is another competition that they kind of have. Is it the Challenger Cup? No, it is something along those lines, though. I'm going to have to try and find it to see whether or not can find the information. Have they finished all their games this week? Maybe they have for that competition, which is why I cannot find the information that I am after. No, it doesn't seem like it wants to let me, unfortunately. Is it actually the Indian Pale RFU? RFU, I think, is the competition, the championship, and it's got the likes of London Scottish Jersey Reds and whatnot. Maybe that is the right role. Cornish Pirates. Do those names ring a bell? Because if that is the case, on the table, the Cornish Pirates at the moment sitting in first, and they would get promoted, I believe, to the Premiership. So that would actually put it up to a lot more teams. That would be up to 14 teams next year, if that is the case. And also we have got in the NRL, Warriors need to play at home or withdraw from the comp as well, says Shane. And also ACT has 50 cases, and then compare that to New South Wales and Victoria as well, says Luke. Yeah, it's going to hopefully, I know that there were originally talks of the games between, I think it was the first game between Australia and South Africa, and also New Zealand versus Argentina. They were talking about maybe that game getting cancelled as well. RFU Championship, indeed, says Sebastian. So, yeah, they're going to have a promotion for whoever is top of that table. And then I believe it will be the case of, normally you would end up into that situation of a team getting relegated, but this year doesn't seem to be the case in this one. And they are going to be back to 14 teams next year, including, I'm just looking through some of those teams' names. I don't really know too many of them, if I'm being completely honest. I would say the most likely that I know would probably be maybe like a Coventry or a Nottingham, someone like that. Cornish Pirates, I should say. It's also a relatively easy name to remember, but my voice is trying to disappear. But the try scorers in this first half, Freddie Stewart, Nemani Nadolo, also Matt Scott, and then it was Don Armand for the Chiefs. Saracens and Ealing Trailfinders fought for a spot in the Premiership and last season final. Do let me know if you know what the score was in that one. Actually, tell you what, Sebastian, I will do you one better. One moment. It was, whoa. Okay, it was a big one. 60-0 to Saracens in that first match. And then the second match, as it was an aggregate one, they won 57 points to 15. So they went through with an aggregate of 117 to 15. Geez, that's impressive. But they didn't actually finish top of the table, interestingly enough, missing out by one game, which I believe they would have lost, if I'm not wrong. Or actually, they've played one less game than everyone else in some regards. So there might have been a cancelled game in there somewhere along the lines. We have got their Saracens and Ealing. Oh, I read that one, and it's cottage pie day, lads, as well, says Katie Dixon. I don't think I've had a cottage pie in a long time. Same with a donut. I feel like I want a really good donut, like one of those big ones, maybe with a little bit of a glazing on top, nothing too bad. But to get one is half an hour away. Everything is half an hour away here in this small town, unfortunately. But maybe a donut could be on the cards at some stage. We have got their Queensland have 1 to 4 local cases. They were put in quarantine pretty fast, as well, says Luke. And also, do you do the NBL Breakers games? I wish that I should. I wish that I could as well. Of that, I want to cover all of the sport, but I'm just not sure where to squeeze it in. I don't actually know too much about basketball as well, but I think with you guys in the chat. Like, you guys teach me so much about these sports. So if you guys do know, if you guys do know a lot about those sports, I think it will be a lot easier for me to be able to learn. Tell you what, the Hurricanes had a bright kit back in the day. John Olomu passing a ton of umanga. What a combo that would have been. We have got there. Could go with coffee right now, not a pie as well, says Steve Smith. That is true. It is currently sitting 11 p.m. there. Oh, pie. I'm just getting hungry now. Donuts make me sick as well. Says Luke, who was the one who was able to chow down on about 6-pack of donuts? Do let me know, because someone mentioned it the other night and I can't quite remember who it was. We need to get a donut shop for you. Donut shop for you in Waimate Hamish as well, says Katie Dixon. Can we get some donuts in the chat, please? There is an emoji. It isn't a channel emoji, so it is available for everyone to use. Please do put some donut emojis in that chat. And we have got there. They were defeated by the Cornish Pirates in their first game in the championship as well, says Sebastian. And I will do you one better. The score in that game, one moment, we will go here. It was actually 25-17. And we got the Sebastian donuts in the chat. Tell you what, we're putting it up on the screen. Look at those lovely, look at those donuts. It's currently 3 a.m. here in New Zealand, and I'm wanting a donut, but we don't have anywhere. I've got the donuts from Katie Dixon as well there. Anyone who is tuning into this live stream who isn't used to our live streams, they will be wondering what is going on at the moment. We have got there in there. Wish I could share some of mine with you, with my mate as well. I have a jug, says Katie Dixon, and I'll grab a cup as well. I need it, says Sebastian. Also, we have got there, is there Dave Rennie Murray, or did you he play rugby professionally? I believe he was a professional rugby player, Dave Rennie, if I'm not wrong. And we have also got the, they do make me sick, but I still ate them because I'm fat as well, says Luke. I mean, you got to treat yourself every once in a while, though, with a few donuts, that is for sure. Can I actually, I wonder if I can put donuts in the chat by myself. We'll see how we go. We will go donut. Oh, look at that. Boom, 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 boom. And there we will put a few donuts in there, but I will mention, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Are you a fan of Aaron Smith? 100%, mate. He has had quite the career for the Highlanders throughout Super Rugby and also just in general for the All Blacks. He's a very experienced player. Donuts in the chat from me. I've never put a message up on the screen from myself, I don't believe, on these live streams, which feels a little bit weird, I'll be honest. It's a bit different, but how many have I got? 7. Oh, I just do for 1 at the moment, I'll be honest. Donuts on the mind. I feel like I'm going to have a snack of like a banana or something, which just doesn't quite hit the same gap as a donut would. But we are getting close to the second half, getting back underway. We are just getting some highlights from a Sharks versus Hurricanes game from way back in the day at the moment here in Kiwi land. But then once these games are back, we will certainly be commentating them and letting you know exactly what is happening, including the fact that Montpellier are currently playing Toulouse, and Toulouse are winning 5-0 into that game for the top 14. That was a game that I wanted to cover, but it was overlapping, and it was actually Intermac who was able to score that first try, which is a little bit interesting. Normally, not known for kind of scoring too many tries, normally sets them up instead. But Bordeaux and Castres, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, had a 23-23 draw, which is something that is interesting to see. Indeed, I'm just loving all rugby at the moment. I'll be honest, any competition around the world, I am following it, and it is extremely exciting to see what is going to happen. Worcester actually have 19 points going into halftime. I do see as well, has recently been updated. Must have scored right on halftime, so they are having a good win at this stage as well. Wait, they have got 19 points. The second half might be underway for them, if I'm not wrong. I'm going to have a look, because I saw on the other one that it did say that it was actually Nanai who was able to score that try for them in the later stages. At this stage, only 56 minutes away from the Bath versus Sale Sharks game. I wish I could cover it, but unfortunately I do not have it here in New Zealand on the tally. We have got, he's staying home, his wife expecting a baby as well, says Shane. He is indeed, and hopefully, I believe he is playing for Manawa too at some stage. He's going to get the opportunity, which is going to be pretty awesome. Indeed, we have also got there Nuggy as a gem as well, says Katie Dixon. He is indeed. Macaroons are God's food as well, says Luke. We have got budget macaroons, I guess you could say, here in New Zealand. Like, they aren't the legit ones. We've got the Griffin's pack, which are kind of the coconut kind of thing, and then they're coated in chocolate, but they're kind of like a biscuit rather than an actual macaroon. Oh, I might have to have one of those after this. But it would be great. For some reason, I'm craving a Tim Hortons coffee. Haven't had one since I was last in Canada years ago. Yeah, I still get cravings. Wish they had Tim Hortons here in Australia. Do they not have any Tim Hortons? I guess they've got Dunkin' Donuts, don't they, Steve? If I'm not wrong. I'm still on the donuts thing, but I believe they do have Dunkin' Donuts in Australia. I think we've even got Dunkin' Donuts here in New Zealand occasionally. He's got the Bambino on the way. Bambino's Food Days in his AB squad. And also we have got there into the chat, well, that is a name I haven't heard in a while. As well says Katie Dixon, and also people spamming donut emojis. Min as well. There we go. We'll put it up on the screen. Steve Smith loving himself some donuts. He's got 7 as well. Tell you what, did we all end up with 7 at some stage? Katie Dixon originally, she went above and beyond at one stage. She has got 8, but then she had 6 as well. Sebastian had 6, so we're continuing to kind of build up the donuts. So Sebastian had 6, Katie had 6, then 8 from Katie, then 9 from Katie as well. Almost a full dozen, then 7 from myself, 5 from Katie, and then Steve Smith has got those donuts in there with the 7 matching the old Kiwi lads there. We have the Donut King as well, it says Luke. And yeah, I feel like Steve Smith at the moment, I hate the fact that it only comes up with that little emoji. I will mention for you guys who are channel members, I wish it had the little TKL logo, because as you go through the months of being a member, you do get a different badge. As you will see, Katie Dixon and also Sebastian, I believe you guys both have the bronze at the moment. So I think it is after 2 months, it becomes a silver. 3 months. No, sorry. 3 months becomes a silver. 6 months becomes a gold. And then we got the diamond when it is 12 months. And I'm craving Tim Tans and Kit Kats as well, says Luke. And also we have got Love the Chat all as well, says Shane, and butter mash and donuts. I've realized our late night live streams always go down the track of food. And I am not complaining one bit about it, because I absolutely love me some donuts indeed. I'm going to have to try and convince someone to take me to go get donuts tomorrow night, although we have got games in the middle of the night as well, actually, so I will do it. Donut hunting on Tuesday, I think is going to be the day to hunt for a few donuts out and about there. I will go back to the try scorers list. I believe I have got to find the right one here, and we have got there in the chat, Sebastian, where are we? We have got this one here. That is the one that we are after, and at this stage, few tries in this first half for both sides, and now we are getting straight back into the match very soon. It's been a long half time. We have talked about stats. We have talked about donuts. And now we are getting almost ready to go for the second half in this match between the two sides as well. And there's a few close games going on at the moment. Do let me know your predictions. Tell you what, we will see if anyone can get it right. Who is winning this game? Who is winning Northampton versus Gloucester? And who is winning Worcester versus London Irish? I feel like the one that is the toughest is this first one, Northampton versus Gloucester. Worcester's pretty one-sided, and also this game's pretty one-sided, but is there going to be a difference? Tell you what, that's a few donuts. That's quite a few donuts on the screen from Luke there. How many is that? I'm not even going to count them. I was almost going to count them. I better put them off the screen, or else I will end up well and truly counting them out on the stream. We have also got donated $100 as well. Says it is James Gordon from a little bit earlier on. Is that donut? Is that wait? So is that me going like this, and then it says donated $100 from James Gordon there? Do appreciate that donation, mate. Slash the little message on the screen. I feel like I need to pop you guys up on the screen a little bit more often as well. I feel like it would be pretty awesome to be able to do throughout these live streams. But I will put this one back up just for now. Where are we? We are sitting at the try scorers. There we go. And we are back into the second half. It's going to be Leicester kicking this one from inside of their own 22. The chat is going very quick at the moment, so I do appreciate every single one of you. And we have got there, from what I understand, Tim Horton was a famous Canadian hockey player. Don't know how that's to do with a coffee franchise, though, and also player Maximum Donuts as well. Says Steve Smith, Kiwi lads, and food should always go hand in hand, as well as says Katie Dixon. Although it is that situation I have never actually eaten on, I have eaten on live stream, never drunk on live stream, though. Just check silver badge for a 2-month subscription, as well as says Sebastian. So yeah, from there, silver badge for 2 months, and then you move up to, is it 6 months for the gold, maybe? It's going to be now the penalty, though. And it has been a little knock-on, sorry. So that is going to be the scrum feed. And it will be going the way of Leicester as well. We have got there. Could be because coffee and donuts go hand in hand. They do indeed. Oh, that's a combo and a half. That is for sure. We are an interesting group of jolly weirdos as well. But I think that's what makes it so great on these live streams. Everyone can just be themselves and not get judged for it, which I feel like on some live chats, people are all serious, but we're just we're having a good time watching a bit of rugby, loving ourselves, a bit of food talk as well at the same time. And I just absolutely love it. That's why these late night live streams are slightly different to those ones that happen during the day as well. We have got their Leicester as well from Cunacoin, and it is a very good score at the moment. And Sebastian has got the coffee, the donut, and the ball as well. And 6 months is the gold badge, and then 12 is platinum as well. I would have had to look that up. I'm not the most knowledgeable hockey fan, but I do know that all cold areas of the USA and Canada, coffee is like a part of the identity. And a Northampton scored as well, says Luke. So we will wait for that one to come through. But I know that Gloucester got themselves a 3-pointer, which I did add on there. It's going to be an awkward scrum here. It's almost, yes, it's going to be the penalty to Exeter at scrum time. And they will be kicking this one for the corner. Good morning as well, says Gary Miller. And also, I don't drink coffee, says Shane. I Actually, believe it or not, I'm a very, very rare drinker of drinks that aren't water, which is a little bit of an interesting one. Like, I think I've never had tea. I've never had an energy drink, like in terms of a Red Bull or anything like that, which I feel like everyone's going to completely judge me for that, maybe. But I've never had them. It's like I've never watched all of the kind of Lord of the Rings movies, and I'm from New Zealand. A little bit of a kind of interesting one there. I was got there when I was in my 20s. I moved to Oregon to be a nanny to my cousins, and I got educated in how seriously people take their coffee in northern areas, coffee especially. As well as says Katie Dixon, and also we have got their water or milk. Says James Gordon. I'm more of a water guy. I kind of stick to water, but I do like a bit of milk in a smoothie if I am making one. I've got there. I live behind the University of Oregon, and there were drive-through coffee kiosks everywhere. There was a hideous abundance as well. Now 5 minutes out here, the Exeter Chiefs going to the front here, going to be claimed by Will Whitty, taking it nicely, breaking off here for the Exeter Chiefs. It's gone down, and it's going to be a penalty for the Miam because of it. Now they will have a 5 meter tap. Perhaps they will go for Jack, and it's just been thrown himself at the line when he gets the opportunity. Dan Cole not getting off that ball. We have got there. I'm bad on energy drinks as well, says Shane. And also, I drink heaps of kombucha. Kombucha, hopefully, kombucha, I think it is, if I'm not wrong. And also we have got love kombucha as well, says Katie Dixon. And now at the stage, they are only a metre short of the line here, the Exeter Chiefs. I mean, it's just been thrown back over his own team. It's going to be going short. Jack Noel, red ball, man, gives it out to Henry Slade. Can't reach for it, and was the foot in touch? I believe it was. Yes, it was. Nadolo with the defence in the half. And Jack Noel is the man who I call Red Bull Boy there, as we were just talking about the energy drinks. You're not from New Zealand either, if you haven't watched Power Rangers as well. Uh-oh. I have not watched Power Rangers either, which I feel like I need to start doing some more things. I think overall watching movies, watching TV series, and all that sort of thing as well. That was very nicely done by Nadolo out on the wing. You must be making it part-time in the desert of New Mexico by yourself as well, says Steve Smith, once again going for the rolling maul here, and the Chiefs looking like they're very nicely set. But the Tigers, they have got this ball, trying to creep forward just a little bit more. Not quite going to work out for them, though, and it is now going to be Ben Youngs looking like he was going to kick this one high. Instead, they are just going to hit this ball up, try and get themselves a little bit of extra meterage. Meterage, is that a word? Meterage? That sounds like a word, so we'll go with it again. Meterage is the word that we are using there, and it's going to be Youngs giving himself some space, kicking this one downfield for touch, and I'm loving hearing the crowd. That one hasn't found touch, though. Now it's going to be Jack Noel running across field. Oh, beautiful textbook tackle there from, it was Tommy Raphael. Because of it now, Maunda passes it back. It's going to be once again in the hands of Inard, trying to make his way forward. Come on, Tigers as well, says Nick the Fox. And at this stage, they are playing very nicely. One try away from a bonus point here. Oh, Dan Cole's almost head spiked. Dan Cole's. Get those two confused a little bit. Henry Slade taking contact there, but Leicester's defence so far has been holding up very nicely. It's a knock on, unfortunately, not a good pass. And Exeter Chiefs have put that one down. It's 22-8 in Northampton game, not 8. Now mine is updated to 17-10. It's still a little bit behind by the looks of it. So as we are going, does that mean they scored two very quick tries there in a row? I will go with 17-10 just for a little bit up until they do update it all the way there. Just in case they are getting a little bit. Yes, now it's gone up to 22, so now I will update that as well. Tell you what, Northampton, what a start to the second half for them. Up to 22 points now for themselves. 2 tries in a row. I believe it was Grayson who was able to get the first one, and then it was Atarak who was able to get the second. And now at this stage, Worcester also, they're working their way towards the bonus point, Northampton. I feel like that is almost actually the bonus point secured for them, which is very good news. Come on, Chiefs have back as well, says Steve Smith. We want to see a close game. Is it going to be the case for this one? And Shane has put Power Rangers are awesome as well, and Power Rangers was the jam as well. And I'm drinking a ton of coffee, and spacing out on rugby life is good as well, says Katie Dixon. I only drink milk after something like a Coke, after something like a cake, says James Jordan there, and you're not from New Zealand. And come on, Tigers as well. And we've also got there. Tell you what, the chat is going quick at the moment, sipping on a mountain dew as we chat. Life is good as well, except what's up with Exeter as well? It's a good question at the moment. They are getting just a little bit of a runaway happening against them in this game. They were almost top of the table, I believe, or top 2 for the last year's season. And now they are struggling a little bit. We have also got their Tigers in the chat from Darthy is going for them here. And I will mention anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be covering plenty of the Gallagher Premiership games. Even when there are multiple games going on at once, we will be having the live scores down the bottom of the screen as well. so that we can all follow along. It's going to be a free kick now for the Exeter Chiefs, and it was going to be the scrum feed of the Leicester Tigers. So that is a big one. Maunda taking the quick tap now. Going to the hands of Simmons, Henry Slade with a bit of space on the outside. Who is Samuel Slade? I believe he actually plays for Manu Samoa, if I'm not wrong. But now it is going to be going forward once again for the Exeter Chiefs. 25 metres out. Maunda passes it back, looking for the overlap with Simmons. Jack Knoll now with a bit of a step. A great low tackle once again. Leicester have not missed many. Almost a penalty one. And they were not happy with the referee for that one because it was very close indeed. Great defence once again, though. They are just ruthless. Not missing the tackles. It's going to be an inside ball now. Bit of a step. And Leicester once again making another tackle here. Maunda going short side now. Linking up Simmons now. O'Flaherty with the men on the outside. Decides not to use him. Takes the contact instead. 25 metres out. Maunda once again going back across field. Nice inside ball there. Linking up. Oh, just running over the top of one of the players. It was Harry Potter. Almost had himself disappear off the field if he takes a head knock like that one. Leicester almost got it. No, it's still on this side, and they're up to 8 phases now for the Exeter Chiefs. Simmons with the flat ball. It's a knock on. And now it is going to be available for George Ford. Quick hands to Youngs, and he will be clearing the lines. It's a charge down. And it is going back for the scrum feed now. Where we have got the I missed my pink Ranger gloves. That makes sounds as well. Says Katie Dixon, and Leicester Tigers versus Blue Bulls would be a nice game to watch as well. Says Achilles. And of course, who knows, maybe one day it can happen because of the fact we need to remember that now that the South African sides are in the URC, they can now qualify for the Champions Cup. So they will be able to play up against the likes of Leicester if they get the opportunity when they do get through to that Champions Cup kind of group stage, I guess you could say as well. And they're about to score another Northampton as well. We have got, and now it's a big round of applause there for Ben Youngs coming off the field. And unfortunately for me, that means that there is going to be a man with a harder name who is making his way out there. Jack Van Portflay. Could be Portflay. A little bit of pizzazz on that one. We have got there why or what are the NRL playoff games? Tell you what, I can inform you of that as well at this stage. We will go here. I believe one of the games is going to be an interesting one. I believe it is actually Rabbitohs versus Manly. Okay, Rabbitohs versus Sea Eagles, sorry. And then it is going to be Storm versus Panthers. They are taking place on Friday night and then Saturday, an earlier game there as well. Now it's going to be a bit of a push here. A good hook from Leicester, and they are going to have this ball. The referee blows the whistle to Exeter, and they have been able to get themselves a penalty there as well and have to send me some goods or send me some sounds good as well. All I have right now is some instant coffee. Nescafe, oh well, will be better than no coffee as well, says Steve Smith. And also, Harry Potter must not return to Hogwarts this year. In my head, I was almost saying it in the Dobby voice. I don't know how good I am at pronouncing, or not pronouncing, but doing the Dobby voice. Haven't really tried it. I was thinking about trying it, but I decided against it in the end. We also got there. Gary Millan said, as an All Blacks fan, not really, as well, says Gary Millan. Also great to see Penrith win, as well, says Shane. So it's going to be an interesting playoff game between those two sides, because of course now we're at the semi-finals, or the prelims, I guess you could say, and then the winner of the games are going to make it through to the final for the next week. But yeah, Sea Eagles winning that game 42-6, and then Panthers winning 8 points to 6. Very close indeed for that match. But there is another sub being made for the Exeter Chiefs, trying to find a way of breaking through, and it's going to be the rolling maul once again for them. 5 metres out now. Good defence from Leicester, forcing them towards the touchline. Going to be back available for their number 21, breaking off the back. Gives it to Noel, trying to step Namani Nadolo straight in there, though. Just taking the player with him almost 5 metres out here. Flat run from Henry Slade, just throwing himself at the line, seeing whether or not he can get Exeter Chiefs back into this match if there is a time to do it. It is right now. Almost a turnover there for the Leicester Tigers, though. Still at 5 metres out, and they have defended extremely well every time. Oh, just throws it into the referee's ass. And now it is going to be okay, so, and then it was the number 21, Jack Poor Villette, and he ended up passing the ball into the referee and then was just yelling at him as well at the same time. A little bit, I just say JVP like we do. Okay, thank you very much. JVP, that is a lot easier. He ended up chucking the ball at the referee there. So it is going to be a 5 metre scrum. Good win for Manly as well, says Shane. I'm excited to play against Scotland again. Want to see how they perform this time around, says Achilles. And also we have got Ben Youngs famously scored a try against the All Blacks at the 2019 World Cup semi-final as well, says Sebastian. And oh, heck yeah, got to send out some care packages to the fam as well. Instant Nescafe will do in a pinch, but you deserve a luxuriant every once in a while as well with the good stuff, says Katie Dixon. And do y'all ever sleep as well, says Crazy and said, we do not. We end up in that situation of kind of all hours of the night these games are taking place, and we cover every single one of them pretty much on the channel. If anyone is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because at the moment we are seeing some high-scoring games of this round. We can see Northampton currently leading 24 points to 8 over Gloucester, and also Worcester leading 19 points to the 5 of London Irish. We have us got there in the chat. And what about South Africa? Maybe Rassie needs to make another video as well, says Gary Miller, and also maybe play them sooner rather than later, says Achilles. And also, do you know 2 Cents Rugby? Would you ever do a video with him, says Xavier Brown? I do indeed. I mean, I would be keen to if he was keen to, although he has got a little bit more of a following than us, so perhaps he wouldn't want to come on the channel. But if he ever did want to, I would be 100% keen for that. But now Exeter Chiefs, 5 metres out now. What can they do from here? It's going to be, once again, the defence of Leicester trying to hold up, trying to break through the line. There's a massive notification coming up on my screen at the moment, but now it's going to be JVP getting that ball. I feel so hip saying JVP as well, but now JVP, once again, I even messed up that one. They are still 10 metres out, Exeter Chiefs. They need a try, and they need it soon. 52 minutes in. Tuima just tied round the ankles there, and they were able to keep this one just. Going to be out now to Jack Knoll. Pass the ball by Freddie Burns, trying to break the line. Leicester, I have never realised how good Leicester's defence is, and I feel like I really need to start taking notes of it, because it is looking like the kind of defence that could win them a spot in the top 4 or 5 of this competition. JVP once again goes back to Knoll. It's going to be a little bit of an overlap, getting only 5 metres out now. Defending very well, though. Leicester just continuing to make tackles. Selling a dummy by Burns, trying to offload 1 metre short now for Leicester. Round the side, O'Flaherty, he's going to be held up, and that is going to be a goal line dropout with the new rules. And that is going to be the first time of the Premiership that we are going to get to see the goal line dropout rule as well. And we almost got there, but from Crazy and said, we are going to be sleeping a little bit after this live stream, and then we are going to be getting up for the Ramfairley Shield match of the Bunnings NPC up against Hawke's Bay and Bay of Plenty. Should be a good game as well. I'm just looking through London Irish scoring themselves another try in their game, so they are now sitting on 10 points, able to fight back a little bit more in that game. So it seems like it's going to be interesting. Oh, actually, it's not going to be a goal line dropout, because there was an earlier penalty for the advantage for Nadolo not rolling away, so that is what that one's going to end up being. But it was a try for Tuisu as well. Albert Tuisu, I actually know him. I'm excited when I know these players who are scoring tries. And now it is going to be their number 18. It's going to be Eli Snyman making his way out there, and that is going to be replacing. That's a lie. It is going to be Nipi Leatigaga, who will be making his way out onto the field. I'm trying hard with some of these names, so they are a little bit tricky at times. And we have also got there, Rassie was sending complaint videos to World Rugby. He will certainly have a bit to complain about after that last match, because it wasn't exactly a close one this week for the Springboks. But I feel like those games up against the All Blacks going to be a little bit different. We have also got there, I'd say Mark probably doesn't have as much time on his hands to do it. Otherwise, I'd say he would do a collab as well. Says it kind of go in, and also we have got there as well, as far as the NRL. I'll tell you what, it's going to be driven into the corner for the Exeter Chiefs, and they have been pushed into touch. Tell you what, there's a barricade right next to the ground. Crowd getting it up close and personal there. Double blow of the whistle here. Oh, and at the side, so that's going to be a penalty to the Exeter Chiefs for that one, and there's going to be a last-minute warning as well. Man Mountain as well, says Katie Dixon, and also good vibes in the chat from Crazy NZ. Then I watched him annoy people at the basketball court as well, says James Gordon, for his friend. And there, that's an interesting story, mate, from James Gordon in the chat. Alice Genge is just asking what is wrong with that one, and it was going in through the sides, and now it's going to be the quick tap available for the Exeter Chiefs. They're going to be 10 or 5 meters out, sorry. And it will be once again their number 2 trying to drive. He just keeps on driving at the line. The Exeter Chiefs, they have been inside of the 22 for the past about 3 minutes, maybe even 5. Harry Williams held up here close to the line. He's going to be just short. Or is he? It's a double blow of the whistle. It's going to be a yellow card, and it will be a penalty try here. If I'm not wrong, someone's going to the bin. Who is it going to be? They're looking underneath. Who is going to the bin? It is going to be their number 4. And he is going to be off the field. Harry Wells, see you later, mate. He is going to be off the field for the next 10 minutes. Exeter get the penalty try, and that is what they needed, because now that gives them the converted try, and they will move back up onto 12 points, only an 8-point difference between these two sides here, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting a little bit closer, but Leicester, their defence overall was phenomenal inside of their own 22. It was actually a player taking it out underneath, I believe, kind of cutting at the legs, which did cause the yellow card there, Man Mountain, and also the yellow card from Katie Dixon there. Yeah, just went straight in at the ankles, or kind of the shins of Tuima, and that is what ended up dragging down that maul eventually. And now the Exeter Chiefs, they are able to score the penalty try. I agree. There's no one stopping the Storm from becoming back-to-back champs. Maybe just the Rabbitohs as well. And at this stage now, I believe they're on their final warning once again here. The London, or sorry, not the London Irish, the Leicester side, even though they are in that situation of it being in the lead a little bit. There's still 25 minutes left at this stage. The sun is out. It's looking very nice indeed. We also got pulling the plug out of the tub as well, says Katie Dixon. And before the bath was over, says Katie Dixon. Now, I thought we would make it a reference to the Bath versus Sale Sharks game that has taken place in 35 minutes time. I wish I could cover that one on the channel as well, but unfortunately they are not showing it here in New Zealand. So I might have to look at other ways of watching these games, but it's going to be kicked off long, taken by Henry Slade once again, trying to pierce the line, but he is going to be dragged down in the end by the number 5 of Leicester. Their names are very hard to read on the back of their shirts, I've learned, for Leicester. They kind of blend in, unless in fact they don't actually have numbers on the back. Or they have numbers, but they don't have names, I should say. Sounds like someone may get a red card as well, says Shane. It could be coming. And of course, the new rules in the competition, it would be a 20-minute red card. Oh, beautifully taken there. Who was that? Flying through the air like he was a gazelle there. I believe it would have been Stewart, Freddie Stewart. He's been playing well in this game so far for Leicester. They've got this ball back. They're going to be 40 metres out now. George Ford offloads it back into the hands of Rafael. Get himself another carry now, going back across George Ford. Little grubber behind an awkward one. He almost grubbed it twice in a row there, George Ford, but he has been able to almost regather, but it's on the side of the Leicester Tigers now. What can they do? And we have also got there, sounds like someone might get a red card from earlier on, and that one is going to be Samuel Slade. He's kicked it back out on the full from Henry Slade. Unfortunately for him, it was taken back into the 22. So because of that, it is going to be poor discipline, like they have said, from the Exeter Chiefs. It has been costing them a little bit in this game. They've had a lot of penalties against them, and now they are in the situation of having another one not going their way, and they are going to be just inside of the 22 now for the Leicester Tigers, and they will be dangerous from here. Definitely with their rolling ball, that has been looking phenomenal throughout the early stages of this game. There is still only an 8-point difference, though. They have got the man advantage. Northampton scoring again, and I believe Gloucester might have scored again, actually, if I'm not wrong. No. So there was a penalty to Northampton here. We will update that one, and also Gloucester were able to score themselves a try, so they are now sitting on 15. And while we're at it, Worcester also able to score themselves a try, so they are sitting on 26 points to the London Irish's 10. I'm kind of liking this kind of multitasking of having it come up down the bottom as well for you guys to see exactly what the scores are in the other games. There's some high-scoring ones coming. Definitely a lot more high-scoring in terms of the tries that we are getting to see compared to that Bristol Bears versus Saracens game. Just the one try of Alex Lewington in that one. But now at this stage, there's going to be 8.5 more minutes left in this yellow card for Leicester. So they're down to 14 men. They've got a man down at the moment as well with an injury. But I'm going to ask you guys the question. Who is going to be able to score the next try of this match? And we're talking about the exact player here. Who is it going to be? I'm going to say it's going to be a sneaky little replacement, and it will be JVP who is able to score it, just because of the fact that now I know the abbreviation. I feel like I'm quite hip with the kids kind of thing. And yeah, there it is, Ryan McCauley, who was at the Western Force. I feel like anytime I get a stat actually right, I love it big time. But now it's going to be taken nicely by their number 8, going to be going for the rolling ball now. Off the back, it's going to be a big push here to see whether or not they can get their way all the way to the try line, being defended decently, though. From it is the side Dollies, the man with the ball in hand, I should say, now going back. It's going to be Namani Nadolo, just big contact there. Men trying to stop him. It's hard to do, though, when you've got the big flying Fijian who is coming straight at you. Once again, going to be inside of the 22 here for Leicester. They are down to only having 14 men, but they do not care. They are going to keep on going, and it is going to be the replacement here, which is oh no, I'm not going to say their name. Nadolo with the bounce, giving it now into the hands of Stewart. Heidelgo Klein. Tell you what, both replacements have hard names to say, that is for sure. And now going to the short side, Nadolo trying to break the line once again. So we are going to have to try and go short side here, 5 minutes short here. Once again, it is going to be Rafael and Leicester. If they can score with only having 14 men on the field, that would be a huge advantage to them here. We have got there. And Jack Wayne is a great coach. If anyone could get it done against the Storm, it would be him as well. It says Gary Miller only a couple meters short. You can hear the crowd getting behind them now. It's a penalty. And it is a penalty for Leicester playing the 9 as the call. And we have got phone battery died. While watching rugby too long. I didn't take notice. Bit of a brain fade as well, says Steve Smith. Which game were you watching, mate? Were you watching this one, or were you watching one of those other games that are taking place of the Gallagher Premiership? I'm sleeping after this game, says Shane. I am as well, mate. It's a late night here in New Zealand at the moment. We are sitting 3:30 a.m. So if you are new to the channel. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for the other updates as well, says Shane. And they are kicking for the corner once again here, Leicester. One of the ones that we haven't got updated on this list, though, is the penalty try for the for the Exeter Chiefs, which does make the score 12 for Exeter and 20 for Leicester. And the bonus point, if they can score one more here, Leicester, they will be able to. That was kind of weird, Sebastian. You put it literally almost before I finished that sentence. And there's like about a 20-second delay for the chat, or 10-second delay. So you're reading my mind here, Sebastian. You're doing very well indeed, mate. You're never too old for patrol as well, says Katie Dixon. But now it's going to be the rolling ball once again. Nick Dolly at the back. Can they get themselves a bonus point try here for Leicester? It's marching forward. The crowd, you can hear it at WELFORD ROAD. They are trying to get behind their side. It's an advantage as well. It could end up being a yellow card for the number 19. Down he goes, and it's a try for Leicester. And tell you what, you can hear the crowd here, and they are absolutely loving it for their side. It was Nick Dolly who was able to score it, and we have what's got there. I'm just watching Paw Patrol, even though I'm too old for that as well, says James Gordon. No worries, mate. Never too old for some of those classic cartoons that you have got yourself. He's got the red eye at the moment, Nick Dolly, but he's been able to get himself the try in the Leicester crowd. Absolutely loving it there. Welcome back as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, I can't miss the rugby, of course. I'm back as well, and the try and the ball and the try and the ball as well from Steve Smith. And also, we have got there. Got to go and work on my head. See you later. See you later, mate. It is good to see you for this live stream. And also, we have got there the try emojis from Katie, and the Kieran in there as well has snuck in there. But it was just patiently waited for Leicester. I'm really praising them in this match, but they're playing extremely well up against the side that Exeter Chiefs were supposed to win this game in terms of the kind of odds, but they're just doing very nicely. They were able to score that try, their fourth try, so they have now got the bonus point as well. More than likely, they could be sitting top of the table depending on how this result kind of finishes. We have got I Love Rugby, says Shane. I do as well, mate. And the thing that I love, there's so many things to love in this game, or not just this game, but just in general for this YouTube channel. One, I love doing the commentary. Two, I think that even is better than the commentary. I love talking to you guys in the chat, interacting with you guys. Like at the end of the day, I always say it, and I will keep on saying it. You guys are what make these so fun. And it is you guys always showing your support on these live streams that just makes me keep on being as motivated as I can to be doing it. Also, myself wanting to learn a lot more about rugby. I have been a little bit behind. I've only been watching rugby for the past maybe 2 years maximum. So I'm really working hard to try and catch up on all of the stuff that I missed, which is pretty tough, but they are doing very nicely here in this game. Leicester now they are going to be sitting on, it will be 27 points once they do decide to update that scoreboard. Next to me, we have got High Five Fam as well, says Steve Smith with the ball in the 10 of the chat, and bless the rugby, love the rugby as well, says Katie Dixon. Come on, Exeter, says Gary in the chat as well. And I grew up on Sailor Moon. You bet your buns I still watch that when I'm feeling down as well, says Katie Dixon. Tell you what, Scooby-Doo is another one that you can't go past in terms of quality. Like all those mysteries, like they were all history because of the fact they were able to solve them all. It's a drop ball by Leicester, so just outside of their 22 here, and it's going to turn into a penalty. And it's also offside. What's the call there? And we also got there the try scorer. Sebastian, tell you what, you have been busy on this live stream, mate, but I very much appreciate you putting in the shift. Try scorer so far for Leicester, it was Freddie Stewart, Namani Dodolo, Matt Scott, and also Nick Dolly, who were able to score the 4 tries. That gives them the bonus point. Also, try scored in this match by Don Armand, and a penalty try for the Exeter Chiefs. And now they have kicked it for the corner. They have still got the man advantage for the next 3 minutes. Thundercats as well from Katie Dixon in the chat. What other cartoons did I quite like? Phineas and Ferb wasn't too bad overall, I don't think. In terms of cartoons, Tom and Jerry is another one that I did, I think, mention the other day. It's going to be taken nicely by the Exeter Chiefs, and now they've got another opportunity of trying to get it going. 5 meters out, the rolling ball available. Marching forward here, the Chiefs getting some momentum, curling off the back. Who's got the ball? It is going to be, hello, Billy. My cat actually ended up sitting on the chair behind me. I just let Tom and Jerry as well with the 10 out of 10. Favorite movie, says Shane. Oh, that's a tough one, but Leicester actually getting that penalty, or sorry, getting the scrum feed, I should say. Favorite movies, tough. Like, I always go for a light-hearted comedy normally because of the fact that it's a lot easier to watch while I'm doing some sort of editing or something like that. I just love being here, Hamish. Helping is even cooler for me as well, says Sebastian. And yeah, I appreciate all of the help for this live stream. I am just looking through the other results, and at this stage, Flash scorer not helping us out. They still have the score as 20 points. Tell you what, I have a little bit of a trick. The cat wants out of the lounge, so I'm going to let him out of the lounge. I will be back in only a very short moment, but by the time I get back, if Flash score have not updated the Tigers to sitting on 27. I'm going to do it with my mind. I will be back in a very short moment. I'm literally going to the door and being straight back. It's weird taking the headset off. I don't normally do too much of it. We will put Kieran in place. Just for now, there we go. Good job, Kieran. You stay there just for a moment. Kieran was just telling you the pack waits quite a few large individuals out there at the moment. It's going to be a free kick to Leicester as well, so I didn't actually miss anything with my little jump to the side we have got there in the chat. I will stick to Looney Tunes as well. Thank you as well, says Gary. And also, I meant to be doing some driving lesson tomorrow, but I'm still awake, so I don't know about that. You should probably get some sleep if you are driving. It's a lot safer in flash scores useless as well, says Luke. They are a little bit behind at times, but it is a lot easier than me typing it out at the same time. So we will wait and see whether or not we do continue to use them in the future for these live streams. I love Fast and the Furious as well, says Shane. And also we have got their classics will never go out of style as well, says KT Dixon. It's going to be Alice Genge now making his way off the field to a big round of applause. And it will be Francis Van Vick, I believe, who will be making his way out there. What player, Katie, as well, says Shane. And also the Kieran emojis from Sebastian in the chat as well. And I feel like a sports journey or a sports duty trying to interview an AB as well. And unfortunately, he was a very tall AB. Tell you what, that's a bit of pace from Hodge there. And he has been tackled very nicely. 25 metres out. There's still another 30 seconds of this yellow card. Can they make the most of it here? The Exeter Chiefs, if they score now, they can get back to only being 8 points behind, but they've dropped the ball. And they took it back, but now it's going to be a penalty to Leicester as well. Do you have dogs, Hamish? Got a blue heeler myself as well, says Steve Smith. I don't actually have any dogs. I've never actually had a dog as well. That is one thing that I feel like I would always like to have, but I have never quite had one. We've always had a cat. Like Billy, our cat, is about, he's got to be about, he's relatively up there. I feel like I want to say about 14 or 15, if not even older than that. He has had quite a long life, our cat. That is for sure. And be sure to put that Billy chat or Billy emoji in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, now making his way back out onto the field, it is going to be Wells. Didn't cost them too much. In fact, if anything, got them a try for the Leicester side. We have got there. I've met Aaron Smith, says to Shane. That would have been pretty awesome. I haven't actually met any players before, so I feel like that would be another thing that would be pretty cool. And with the channel slowly growing, or should I say quickly growing, the rate that it is going at, maybe one day we will be able to do a couple player interviews. Tell you what, it looks like it's about to pour down with rain there in the background. Originally, it did look like a nice sunny day, and now it looks like it's really gonna well and truly bucket down very soon. And the Billy emoji in the chat from Sebastian as well. But now it's going to be the rolling ball for Leicester. They've got the advantage. The referee's arm goes out, and the crowd let out the roar. Going back now, it's going to be quick hands. George Ford just not quite able to link up, and they are going back for the penalty now. And favourite rugby player, I am still so new to rugby, so I don't know much or don't know enough Stellar players to give a proper answer. But right now, at the moment, my favourite player is Tyke Furlong as well. Surprise Billy is that old no way as well, says Steve Smith. And the thing is, he's blind in one eye, yet somehow, like, he hasn't been hit by any cars. He hasn't ended up in any, like, I don't think he's broken any arms or broken any legs or anything like that. Even though, like, he just runs around like a lunatic at times when he was a bit younger. But he just keeps on going, Billy, at this stage. I feel like he's going to be here for the Rugby World Cup. Hopefully, we'll be able to have him on for a few of those matches. George Ford has kicked that one towards the touchline, and we have got there. He's a senior feline as well, says Sebastian. He is indeed, and we have got there. I've had a cat since I was 9. I'm 16 now, says Luke, so a 7-year-old. And in that regard, we actually got him when he was just a little kitten as well, old Billy. Or young Billy, I guess I should say, at the time there. And we also got there, oh, you know, you mean, who am I interviewing? I'm interviewing Scott Barrett as well. Says that Katie Dixon about 5 metres out now. And once again, Leicester going to have the opportunity, taking it nicely at the front, and the rolling maul is once again going to start rolling. It's at the back available. Is he going to be able to pick up his second try of the match? Nick Dolly here? No. Looks like it is going to be instead Namani Nadolo. No, it's starting to move now once again for Leicester. The crowd are deafening at the moment at the ground, and I absolutely love it. They're getting behind their side. He's over, and he scored the try, and that's going to be the win for the Leicester Tigers. Nick Dolly scores his second of the match, and you can see how much it means to them as well. We have got Scott Barrett, his brothers in the All Blacks, Katie, as well, says Shane. At the stage, he has been put into the shift there. Nick Dolly scoring his second try of the match. He is down to a knee. Looks like he's broken his foot or something. or maybe just very much hurt his toes. And also, not going to lie, thought you meant Tyke Furlong was blind in one eye. So I says, also, no, not quite. My cat is blind in one eye. Tyke Furlong, I mean. Tell you what, even if he was blind in one eye, Tyke Furlong, I feel like he would still run over the top of anyone who tried to step in his way. The man is an absolute unit. And he will be playing for Leinster, I believe, in around January or December or so. Well, not wrong. And we always got there 4 years and no one wanted him. We couldn't believe it as well. Says Luke, and also we have got there. Yes, I know. I've got Barrett Madia, like Ian Foster. Also, got a big game over now as well. Says Steve Smith. Yeah, I would say at this stage, with the factor of it's just too many tries, Leicester going to have a 20-point lead with a kick to come as well. They have actually got the biggest lead out of any team in here. The 19 points between Worcester and also London Irish is the second biggest. Actually, they're on 29. I've only got them as 26. So we will quickly update that one for you guys as well. We will take that away and we will go like this, and we will go like this, and we will go like this, and then we go like this, and then we go like that, and there we go. That's a kick and a half, and it's gone over from the touchline now. So the score will be 34 for them in this match, Leicester, and 12 for Exeter Chiefs. And we also got there in the chat, Tyke Furlong with an eye patch, no emoji as well. And Katie, great players as well, says Shane in the chat as well. And also they really are super fans or super guys for sure. Love them to bits as well, says Katie Dixon. But now it's going to be kicked off by Exeter Chiefs once again. They need to find a way back into this game, but I don't think it's possible with only 11 minutes left. They want to get themselves within 7, or they at least probably need 2 more tries to get a bonus point for this one. Need a Hamish emoji. Yet now a good time with the mustache as well. I have realized, it was on that earlier live stream that I realized that now that I've shaved my face, I will have to have my emoji with the mustache of me kind of sitting here confused for that one. So that one will be coming hopefully by the end of next week, or by the end of this week. What day are we on? We're still on a Sunday, so this next week, I believe. Are we Sunday? Yeah, we are Sunday. We've still got plenty more rugby on this weekend. That is for sure. It's going to be now at the back line. O'Flaherty getting a carry there. George Ford off the field, and that is going to be for Burns. Stolen, and Exeter once again giving away the penalty and the breakdown for not releasing. And Leicester's crowd are brilliant at the moment, I have to say. I ran out with Ben Volivola when I was 8, and he was playing club rugby at my local club, which is pretty awesome. Indeed, that you were able to run out. Were you the ball boy, or were you... I guess they have all of the kids who run along with them, don't they? In that regard, and Tyke Furlong as a Pirate from the SpongeBob SquarePants intro as well, says Katie Dixon. That is an interesting image that I have now got on my head. And also we have got there, but here's the ultimate question, Tyke Furlong or Geordie Barrett, says Sebastian. That's going to be a tough one and awesome as well, says Shane. And the crowd are almost deafening in this one. I'm not sure whether or not it's because I got my headset tuned up a little bit louder than I normally would, but it's absolutely phenomenal to hear the crowd behind them. And something I'm going to talk about for audio quickly as well. I do apologize for the audio quality of our last 2 live streams for the South Africa versus Australia, and also New Zealand versus Argentina live streams. Unfortunately, I didn't select the right microphone. I didn't actually check it, and I should have. So it wasn't this microphone that was coming through. It was this microphone that is facing the wall. So that is why the audio sounded a little bit rough for those ones. So I do apologize for that in advance, but now I have switched it so that it is this one for this live stream, so hopefully it's a little bit clearer. But yeah, I saw it after when I was setting up this live stream, and I was like, oh no, I have well and truly messed up there. My junior team got to run out with the team as well, says it Luke. But now it's going to be another kick here available for Leicester. It's going to be Burns. Will be lining this one up, trying to get themselves some 3 points, and he's missed it. He's actually missed it, unfortunately, there for Billy Burns, which is not what he would have been after in that situation. Didn't notice anything out of hand. Audio was great as well, says Sebastian. And also Geordie is a great player, says Shane. I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not they decide to have him at 15, or whether they go with Damian McKenzie at 15 for the games up against the Springboks. That one is going to be kicked off high for the 22. Devoto off the field, and that's going to be for Hendrickson. Taken by Exeter Chiefs. They are fighting for pride here at this stage. They need to get themselves a little bit closer back into the match. Passed back nicely now. And once again, Hodge having a good run. He's had a very good game in the number 15 jersey, but it's going to be almost a turnover. But now Exeter Chiefs once again have this ball. It's going to be Henry Slade. No, sorry, it was their number 22 just stepping on the player, and that's almost going to be maybe something to go back and look at. It's going to be JVP now. Good hit on the Exeter defense once again, but it looked like he did actually stomp on one of the players. We have got there, no problems with audio as well, says Shane. And also we have got there Geordie. Geordie is a fantastic player as well from KD Dixon. So now it's in the hands of, once again, the Exeter Chiefs. Can they get themselves a try before the end of this one? It's going to be now Jack Knoll trying to step, but he is dragged down there once again with some great defense. Leicester, they haven't missed too many tackles throughout this match, I should say, so far. I'm trying to work out what the crowd are chanting, but I can't quite work it out. Almost an interception there, but it is going to be taken nicely by Kristen on the short side. O'Flaherty wrestled backwards once again. This Leicester defence is just phenomenal in this game. I've said it many times. Are we seeing the old Leicester making a comeback here? Tell you what, the way that they have played, I would say they're not too far off because they haven't missed many tackles at all. They have won penalties in the breakdown, and the Exeter Chiefs have just not been able to find an answer for it. Going to be going out once again. It's going to be Kirsten. And then number 6 jersey dragged down by the man. And number 13 jersey was actually able to score the try earlier on, Matt Scott. Vantage is now over for the knock-on, so they still have this one. They're up to 13 phases now. Still trying to find the gap, but Exeter just making tackles. It's a knock-on as well. And Leicester now have this ball 25 metres out. It's going to be out the back line now. They've got men on the outside as well. It's out into the hands of Namani Nadolo, close to the touchline, cut out. And Jack Noel was able to push him over the touchline. And Geordie at 15 says Shane as well. And I wouldn't mind. They used to be an absolute superb side, as well as Sebastian. And at this stage, they will be sitting, or tell you what, maybe not, because of the fact that there is another side who are playing today. It is a Worcester facing the London Irish, and they have been able to move themselves up onto 36 points. But then also London Irish have been able to move up to 17, so they have been updating that one very quickly as well. So looking now at the points differential, we're going to look at it, and it would be that at this stage, Leicester Tigers would be sitting in first on the points table as they have received their bonus point and also just that little bit more ahead in terms of the differential. But now it's going to be Tom Cowan Dickey making his way out onto the field. Going to be JVP with this kick, taking his time as well. The crowd booing him at this stage. The crowd are very noisy in this one. I have absolutely loved it here in the atmosphere. It's going to be taken by Stewart. What a game he's had so far. He's got to be close to the man of the match for this one. Offloader once again forward there. That was forward. Yes, they are going back now. But it was almost the opportunity for another try opportunity for Leicester. And we have got there. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a big history with my Munster. Thought not all, although not all of it is positive as well, says Kanakoan. And tell you what, you'll be absolutely buzzing for when we get to see the United Rugby Championship next week. We're going to be covering those games in the middle of the night as well in New Zealand. It's going to be late nights here in New Zealand, but it's going to be all good. We're going to have a bit of fun while we are doing it. Gloucester actually scoring themselves a try here. So now they are sitting on 20 points. Not sure whether or not that is with a kick to come, but they are starting to cut down the deficit, and they'll have to because there will only be probably around 3 minutes left in that game between the two sides. There's been quite a few decent games in terms of high-scoring ones between these sides. We haven't had too many penalties. Pretty much all tries going down on the front row. Available now for the Exeter Chiefs. JVP once again at the back. Taking his time, going to be passing it back across field. It's going to be in the hands of Slade. Little wrap around, nicely done. And it's going to be once again Hodge back in the pace as well. Offload on the inside. Gives it to O'Flaherty. Can they score themselves a try here? The Exeter Chiefs, they are driving forward. Oh, it smacked the ref in the face. And tell you what, he well and truly ate it. The referee's going, what do you want me to do? He's been smacked with the ball in the back. He's been smacked with the ball in the face as well. He'll start to think that the Exeter Chiefs might not like him too much. And flying down the wing there for Hodge was a fast break. Then O'Flaherty was able to take it, and then from there was the quick pass back. And yeah, smacked the ref on the shoulder. He got lucky to move the head just in time. And it does mean that it is going to be now. Like the commentator has just said, to be fair, he is in the way as well in that situation we have got there. It's going to be an interesting final few moments. I'm looking at those other games as well. I think Gloucester versus Northampton. If Gloucester can score a converted try, they will actually draw that game, and it will be 2 points for a draw. They do not go to golden point in this competition. It is just whoever wins, wins, and whoever loses, loses. And if it's a draw, both teams win and both teams lose, I guess you could say at the same time. But currently a 22-point differential between these two sides, the Leicester Tiger and the Exeter Chiefs. And then you've got Worcester sitting on a current points differential of 21 at this stage. Or sorry, actually, that's the wrong number. It is currently a points differential of 19 in their games. So pretty close. So they will actually be sitting second on the table as we are sitting at the moment here for the Gallagher Premiership. But after the round, maybe we'll do some sort of short video kind of explaining about the kind of how the point system is sitting, or the table is sitting, I should say, throughout this one. We have got there from Steve Smith in the chat. Love the high energy and tempo you still have, Hamish, at this time of night. And a third stream of the day, impressive as well, says Steve Smith. I think it is you guys in the chat. That's a loose ball, and Leicester now offloading it. Namani Nadolo breaking the line, lot of speed. He's offloaded it now. Not quite able to link up though, Porter. And now it's still available for Leicester. They are just on fire in this match so far. But yeah, going back to that point, Steve, it is, I think, a combination of being overtired probably, but also you guys in the chat just make me absolutely love every single one of these games. Exeter Chiefs there get the penalty. And I just love watching these rugby games as well. So much breakfast after this game as well, says Katie Dixon. So many donuts after this one, Babs, as well. Hamish, I think you found your calling, my man. This is your destiny as well, says Katie Dixon. And tell you what, if it is the destiny, I will well and truly be accepted that, because I have absolutely loved doing every single live stream. We've done over 130, I think, by now on the channel. We just said now twice, apparently, there in that sentence, but it's been a lot, that is for sure. Nice little set play there. And Exeter now flying down the wing. It was their big number 16. Falling into it was Nadolo. So because of it, he does not end up getting penalised. Step in once again here. They need to find their way over the line, the Exeter Chiefs. They need to get it right at the end of this game. Still another 2.5 minutes. If they get 2 tries in a row, they can almost get close enough. What a hit that is. On it was Hodge once again, nailed in the tackle by Mr. Harry Potter. Going back across now into the hands of McCauley. Giving himself another carry for the Exeter Chiefs. Little short ball, Henry Slade. They've just tackled so nicely. JVP offloaded to a Flaherty there, sorry. And he was unfortunately not quite able to take that one clean enough. Got the advantage for the knock on him. Also, we have got the chat said, Shader said I have the munchies, and also, so I remember the game between them in the late 2017, just before Christmas. I remember that Munster won that contest. And Hodge, did he have the foot on the line? Perhaps that is what the crowd are trying to say, and he is still running here. They're going to play on because the touch judge has kind of missed it, and because of it, Henry Slade's going to be getting close. They're going to have to check this one, I would think. It's going close to the touchline. And now both players, he's just going to run it into touch. They're going to be a line out here for the Exeter Chiefs, only 5 meters out. I think they are trying to say that Hodge was in touch, and the crowd are not happy at all. Are they going to have a look at this one? That's a big question. Hodge must have been extremely close to the touchline, that is for sure. We have got there in the chat. Don't forget us when you're famous. I don't think there is any way I will be able to forget you guys. You guys have been here for a very long time. Like, at the end of the day, we hang out for like 6 hours a weekend at least, a lot of us, and it is absolutely awesome, and I absolutely love it as well. At the same time, like, I've learned quite a bit about you guys, not just about who you guys like watching in the rugby, but also just a whole heap of extra information that I've been picking up on. I'm normally pretty good with my memory, so I've been able to pick up quite a few little bits there. But now it's going to be JVP once again. Can they score one last try in this one, Exeter? If they do score a try here, which they're over the line, is he down? I think it is held up, so it's going to be now a goal line dropout maybe, but they are going to be going upstairs. But if this is a try, that will actually mean that Worcester would be first on the table after this match. We have got too bad we won't face them this season. Won't mind having them again in the next season Champion Cup as well, says Kanakainen. And also we have got there, it's going to be a goal line dropout as the call. So it is going to be a goal line dropout because of the ball being held up. Harry, did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire as well? Says Katie Dixon. I mean, if the Goblet of Fire is points, then yes, indeed, he did. He was able to get himself a try. He said, please, sir, may I please have another Hagrid? And he has not quite got one yet. So Hagrid had ignored his DM on Instagram. But now London Irish able to actually score another try on that one. So that's actually cut down that little bit of information that I said. So now even if Exeter Chiefs score, they will still be in that first place position for Leicester going into the later stages. But there's been some good high scoring games this one. Do you do all Super Rugby? I do indeed. We did every single game of Super Rugby Aotearoa, every single game of Super Rugby Trans Tasman, quite a few of Super Rugby AU as well. Now it's going to be JVP. He's gone through the middle and he scored the last minute try for Exeter as well. But yeah, we are covering everything on the channel. Also, all international fixtures that are coming up, which is including, tell you what, there's a day and a half. It's going to be Springboks taking on England as the first match. Second match, Wales versus the Wallabies. And then third match will be New Zealand taking on France as well. And we have got there in the chat, try for the Chiefs as well, says Katie Dixon. And also, I see they're keen on walking it this season. Can't wait for Quins versus Tigers as well. Correction, we might. I didn't know they were in the Champions Cup this season, says Kanakainen. Are they actually in it this year? I thought that they were going to be either possibly coming in late next year, but I'm not too sure. If they're available for this one, it's going to be pretty awesome to see how it goes. But that one's gone straight down the middle. So now it is going to be Exeter losing this match, unfortunately, for them. It is going to be 19 points for them. And Leicester, for the first time in 4 years, I believe they just said, they have been able to beat the Exeter Chiefs. Leicester, very nicely done indeed. We have got their try scorers in this match. Sebastian has put there is Freddie Stewart, almost man of the match for myself there. I'm dreaming Ireland's 3 games in New Zealand next year as well, says Kanakainen, and they're going to be tough, but They are going to be pretty awesome at the same time. Namani Nadolo, Matt Scott, Nick Dolly able to score 2, the number 2 for the match as well, quite conveniently, and Don Armand scoring. Also, JVP in there and the penalty try for the Exeter Chiefs. Great game, both teams as well. Says Katie Dixon. It certainly has a lot that both sides can build on for the later stages. Leicester, their defence, I want to see a stat here because it was absolutely incredible. I don't think they missed many tackles at all, which when you get into that situation of just being able to cover, just being able to make that many tackles in a row. What do we got here? Looking for the tackling stat. Defense, they only missed 7 tackles and made 132. 7 of 132. Exeter Chiefs, they made 42 tackles. They missed 20 of their ones. So that just shows you Leicester's defense is looking like an unbreakable wall into this one. So hopefully we do get to see it heading into the future as well. But the game is finished. It is 34-19 for this one as well. Looking at the other games that are taking place, 32-20 at the moment for Northampton over Gloucester, and also it is 36-24. So Northampton actually extending that lead. I don't think I actually had Northampton down as that. They were able to score a last-minute try there, and they were able to tick their way up to 34 points. The high-scoring games, that is for sure. Of this round, we also got the well done Tigers from Kanakoinen, and also great game both teams. And are we playing Ireland this year? Says Shane. I think that is possibly on the cards. I think we do have a game up against Ireland up in the Northern Hemisphere, if I'm not wrong. We'll have a quick look. I got all of my kind of scheduled live streams, or not scheduled, but I have got them all set up so that I can see exactly when all of the games are taking place. Right, what do we got here for the All Blacks? They are playing the USA, then they are playing Wales. That's only 42 days away. Then they are playing Ireland at 4:15 a.m. We're going to be up for it. And then also we play France. Oh, we play France. I like that game. And Ireland play Argentina as well for another matchup. And we have got their well done Tigers. And who's your team as well, says Kanakoinen. And also we have got thank you for the rugby gauntlet. I was streaming Irish, says Katie Dixon. And we are not finished yet. We are finished for tonight, though. We are going to be coming back at 2 p.m. New Zealand time tomorrow, which will be sitting at 10 a.m. in Western Australia. For yourself, Steve, we will be sitting at, tell you what, my time zones. I'm going to be able to nail them all. Sebastian in Romania, you are going to be sitting at 7 a.m. for that game. It's going to be an early morning start for you, mate. Actually, no, it's going to be 5 a.m. That's even worse. So I do expect maybe that you won't be there for that matchup. And also we have got NBC better stream the AB's USA game, or I will ride as well, says Katie Dixon. New Zealand Highlanders as well, says Shane. And also, yeah, there's a few good matches on tomorrow with the Ramfurly Shield taking place. Then also we will be doing a little bit of the top 14, hopefully, and also the game of the Gallagher Premiership between Newcastle and also Harlequins. I would have absolutely loved to cover the game that was coming up between the Sale Sharks and also the other team that are going to be playing extremely soon as well. Trying to think of it as the Sevens is actually starting up for the HBS or HSBC series as well, with the game between Ireland and Hong Kong kicking off in only 45 minutes. Kind of coin in if you are keen to see that one as well. Yep, Ireland are playing New Zealand in November and a 3-game tour in 2022 as well. Flip a bus as well from Katie Jackson and Steve. Steve at the end of the live stream here is just for bringing us another great stream, Amish. Sterling job, bro. Thank you very much, Steve, for that donation, mate. It is hugely appreciated. Like the support that we have had over the weekend, and we are not over yet. We have still got plenty more live streams coming as well, but I appreciate that donation very much, Steve. I'm going to leave it up on the screen for a little bit longer while we are looking through a few of the other ones we have got. Oh, I might be just a bit too early, but I tune in anytime I can as well, says Sebastian. That is no worries, mate. I do understand that I think the Bunnings NPC is the only competition that doesn't benefit you for time zone when they do play the games at 2 p.m. And Steve Smith, legend times 10,000 as well. Tell you what. Well and truly, mate, 10,000 and above from Steve. It's just, yeah, the support, Steve. I really do appreciate it for these live streams. And Kieran, tell you what, Kieran likes you. Kieran is a big fan. I'm going to break something with Kieran here. I should have Kieran sitting up there for these live streams. I always say that people don't realize that Kieran's a giant inflatable All Black. So they think he's just my doll that I do have. It's actually not a bad spot for him. Other than the fact that he might fall down. I feel like I'm being overlooked. Like he's just right there looking at me. He's kind of moving as well, which makes me slightly concerned because I am not moving him. I don't have anything touching him at the moment. He is kind of moving around. You all right? Oh, I thought he was going down for a second there, but we have also got no worries, mate, as well. And well, Steve says, can I go in and Kieran in the chat from Sebastian. Any other games tomorrow, says Shane. We'll let you know exactly what we are going to be covering, mate. So pretty much, I would have absolutely loved to cover the 7 series, but oh, that was almost not good. Kieran, you big fellow, you almost knocked over my light, which would have been bad. He's still trying to. He's still leaning towards it, so we will just let him lean on it for now. But yeah, I would have covered more of the 7 series, but other than kind of South Africa, USA, and a couple others, there aren't really too many big teams. Great Britain versus Ireland at 11:28 would be a decent game, but it wouldn't quite give me my enough time as the sleeping that I would like. Who's falling over as he's heavily drunk as well. And there he goes as well. Kieran looks like a comfy inspector, and also Hamish, get your eyes all big as well. Says Katie Dixon, and also we have got, yes, it is, says Katie Dixon in the chat as well. So I'd love to be able to cover some of the 7s, perhaps some of the afternoon games. USA versus Canada at 1:33 could actually be an option, depending on how we go. See how we go there, and then the quarterfinals and everything are going to be starting in the middle of the night, which we do love indeed. Canada, the second round is going to be starting next week in Edmonton, and then we haven't got any till Dubai, so I might cover some of those ones, but we will be doing the kind of more important games of the final and whatnot as well. Get some sleep, Hamish, as well, says Kana Koinen, and also Sharks Bath about to start. Sleep well, Hamish, your legend. But I will mention the games that we are doing tomorrow. So the first game, the Bunnings NBC, that is going to be Hawke's Bay, who have got the Shield. They are going to be taking on Bay of Plenty. That game's going to be kicking off at 2:05 p.m. So we are going to be starting at around 2 p.m. for that live stream. Out a little bit of a pre-match chat. Then also for those matches that are going to be taking place, the Premiership, there is the game that is going to be starting at 7 a.m. We will decide whether or not we go early. Actually, it's a 2 a.m. game, and it's going to be Harlequins taking on Newcastle. That is another one that we are going to be covering on the channel at 2. And then for the top 14, I'm just looking for it now to see whereabouts it is, because I believe there is a game for the top 14, and I want to cover at least one game per round. Toulon versus Stade Francais. A little bit fancy there, even though I said it completely wrong. But, we'll go with it just for now. But Stade Francais, Nadi Lamape's team, is he playing? If he's playing, we'll cover that game at 7:05. They haven't announced their side. Why wouldn't they do that? We will look on Instagram quickly before we end this live stream. I'm in a hyper mood. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm talking at 1,000 miles an hour. So all the other games, I believe, have finished at the same scoreline, 36-24 for Worcester over the London Irish and Northampton, able to get that win as well. Very nicely done indeed. Be well, chat fam as well. Go Bay of Plenty, says Shane, and by all, cheers for the lols as well. And thank you very much, Steve, for tuning in, and also for your massive contribution to the Kiwi Lads Fund, I guess you could say as well. It is a very awesome data. I'm going to look up to see whether or not Stade Francais have said that they have got a Nadi Lamape in their lineup. He actually didn't have the best first game for Stade Francais, unfortunately. But can he have a good game for the second? They haven't announced their side. Why would they not announce it yet for myself? They have, right. Who we got? Ugh. Oh, no, Lamape is there. We will be covering that game possibly at 7:05 in the morning. We'll have to wait and see what's got there. Thank you for your stream, Hamish. Love the Gallagher Premiership as well, says Sebastian. I love it too, mate. It has come a long way in the last couple of years, and it is very entertaining rugby now that just can't be matched by some of these other competitions around the world sometimes. So it is great news, and it is going to be awesome. A little bit of the awesome, doing the awesome windmills. Don't know what's going on with my brain, but I think this is going to be the end of this live stream. Big love, everyone in the chat as well, says Sebastian. And nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I do look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at some stage. I'm sure I will see all of your friendly faces in the chat, because we have got plenty more rugby action coming on this channel. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.